Drumroll finishes, and the target is
and it comes on finals night, and it's another
Dirty Harrison! Van Velzen!
Still might get an 11 darter. Rather impressive start, isn't it?
Sometimes it's just a necessity. Double top to get the opening leg. Good start for Trina Gulliver.
At least missing the 19 gave him the luxury of leaving double 18, which has worked out pretty well.
Hogan.
This would make more sense. Bullseye.
Keep his hopes alive.
Great first start. He's going for the bull again. Oh!
It's the final day's worth of action here in Group B. Come the end of play this evening, we will know the 6 players that will be contesting to become the ultimate senior here in Portsmouth. And following the first day's worth of play, it's Simon Whitlock that tops the table, having amassed 6 points from Thursday's exploits. Neil Duff follows closely behind, level on points with him, with a couple of players on 4. It's a table that's very much open for interpretation, and as the evening comes towards its culmination, we could have a lot of drama in store. The asset Paul Nicholson is with us once again on this Friday evening, and you've got 2 players at the top of the table in Simon Whitlock and Neil Duff, but pretty much everybody's in play this evening.
Yeah, I think the only way that Trina's going to be in play tonight is if she wins all 4 games. That's going to be a tough task for her. She's going to have to find maybe 20% on the output. But the other 4, realistically, battling for 3 spots. And that is very, very interesting.
So Group B tonight looks like a very tight run affair. Group C this afternoon was anything but. Johnny Haynes was the runaway player in that group.
Yeah, it was a bit of a mishmash. Even when the standard of play went down a little bit on Friday afternoon, Johnny was able to be the best player in a slightly different way. When people were faltering and he was being drawn into battles, he was still predominantly the best player. The most important thing, I think, for his movement into Saturday is that he's won 4 out of 5, 3 days in a row, and he's found a new level of play as well. You can see there with 108 average against Terry Jenkins that when he needed to turn it on, he really did.
And alongside Johnny Haynes into the final tomorrow evening is Michael Huntley. He managed to edge out Robert Thornton in the end. A couple of iffy results for Robert kind of cost him, but for Mike, a big opportunity tomorrow.
Yeah, big opportunity for him. I don't think he's under any pressure anymore. I think that's going to be shouldered by Rowlands. It's going to be shouldered by whoever gets through tonight, and indeed Johnny Haynes, who I think will be one of the favourites. It looks close in the score of points, but in legs difference, that tells you a bit of a story. A difference of 17. I haven't seen that in quite a long time from second to third. So Robert left it too late. And I think he will look at Thursday afternoon as where it went wrong.
So that was the story of Group C in the afternoon. Group B is what we're going to be watching tonight. And having a look at the table at the halfway stage, Simon Whitlock and Neil Duff both top of the table with 6 points apiece. Steve West and Paul Hogan on 4. Trina Gulliver searching for that first win this evening. For Simon, take away the first game. I know he won it. It wasn't quite his best performance, but there were signs, particularly towards the middle of the night, of the vintage Simon Whitlock. The Simon Whitlock that we've seen even in recent years have attainable success, of course, fresh off the back of his ANZ Premier League win.
Think about how he won the ANZ Premier League. He was plotting his way through the first 7 weeks. And then when it came to the finals night, he found his best darts there. That was vintage Whitlock. Last night, there were some good things about it. There was one really good average in there, a couple of great performances, one which he'll just want to forget, but he still got the victory. But the good thing is, when he was throwing darts, and I say at the board, he wasn't throwing darts towards the board. He was throwing with purpose. And when the dart was hitting the board, it was going in with real purpose. If he maintains that tonight, I think he's going to get another 8, 9, 180s, and his doubles will be very polished.
No surprise Simon Whitlock's top of the betting, But who he's joint top of the betting with is a little bit of a surprise, isn't it, Steve West?
Yeah, I think it is a little bit. When you've got Steve in third position on 4 points and Neil Duff is 2 points ahead of Steve, and considering what he's been in the betting this week, that is a bit of a surprise. But maybe the odds compilers have seen a little bit of uncertainty in Neil's game towards the end of play, and maybe they think that he's going to tire by the end of the week. I think otherwise. I think Neil will qualify tonight. I'm just not going to say which number.
18 plus, gambleware.org if you're going to have a flutter on the Super Series this evening. And Neil Duff is involved in the opening match. In fact, the top two go head-to-head in our first match of the night as Simon Whitlock takes on the Duff man, looking for a place through to tomorrow night's final. Double 10. And Scotland's off to the perfect start.
Look at the head there for Jimmy Vanski, and Burnett steps up, and Richie Burnett does find double 10, and it is a 4-3 victory.
16 to complete a 4-1 success. Third time in the chart, and the Netherlands are into the semi-finals. History is in the making, because for the first time ever, there will be a paired 9-dart shootout. Well, this is the loudest I think I've ever heard the live now. Steve West is embracing it. Well, that might well be the biggest cheer we see tonight. And kicks off for Maximum. And I suppose the one advantage of... Well, that is absolutely incredible. Scott Campbell in a 9-dart shootout has found 2 180s. So Scotland and Belgium are into the semi-finals. The Republic of Ireland head for home. The Netherlands are into the final. Much to the delight of this packed-out Portland.
And he only needed one more. It is Wales that is through to the final.
And it's double Dutch delight. The Netherlands are the inaugural international paired champions.
Only one winner. It's the Netherlands!
Every Saturday night, the doors of the Modus Live Lounge are open, and you can visit us by heading over to www.dartshop.tv, and for just £5 you can be here to watch a Saturday night at the darts. And looking to be here this Saturday night, both Simon Whitlock and Neil Duff, the top 2 players following the first night's worth of play here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. Whitlock won this fixture comprehensively last night, a 4-1 winner against the Duff man, now 53 years of age, residing in Winterthur in Switzerland, and will be heading back home on Sunday come what may. So he's hardly been back home the last few weeks, up against Simon Whitlock, the 56-year-old from Hornsby, now residing in Waterlooville, just up the road. In fact, we'll have a Waterlooville derby when Simon Whitlock takes on Steve West in the middle of the night's programme's worth of fixtures. Paul Hinks is the referee in charge of proceedings, and it was a game last night which saw Simon Whitlock win by 4 legs to 1. They shared 5 maximums, 3-2 in favour of Simon Whitlock, who averaged 93.64, was 4 from 9 on his finishing. Duff missing 5 darts and a double and was duly punished for it. The asset Paul Nicholson's with us in commentary, of course, this evening to see how Friday night draws to a close in Group B at the Seniors Showdown. And these two, well, they really were the two, weren't they, yesterday?
59.
I'm always drawn to what Simon is using at the start of a session. Usually, when he starts with something, he finishes with it. I'm not just talking about scoring and finishing in the same leg or game. I'm talking about all night long. If he decides to go with this in game 1, he's sticking with it all night.
99.
This looks like the same set from last night.
And let's face it, based on some of the darts he played last night, why would he change?
Well, it was an interesting conversation that we had with him in the
59.
Pluto TV studio come the end of play yesterday, where he did have a little bit of a fiddle in terms of what his setup was going to be, but has decided to settle on this. It was the setup he used
60.
when he won the ANZ Premier League back in November. It's the same set he used when he played Connor Scott at the World Championship last month. They're tried and tested, and it's a formula for
60.
success, and it's a formula that he continues using.
We will see if this formula works tonight.
$100.
I think he played some very decent darts last night. Even when he lost to Paul Hogan. He lost when Hogan had his best performance of the night, but that was the theme of the
41.
evening. The top four were sharing victories against each other. Whitlock beat Duff. Hogan beat Whitlock. Duff beat
96.
West.
Neil Car 156.
Whitlock beat West. And West beat Hogan. So it was all dished around. It was a bit of a mishmash.
60. Samuel Carr 87.
The points being handed out to one another like confetti at a Greek wedding. Double 7 is
Getting
fouled
shown
for an
the first leg,
87
Simon
kill.
Whitlock.
Not the most conventional of routes, but it's taken nonetheless, and Whitlock
Simon
gets a
to
break
first.
early on,
Game
much to the dismay of Neil Duff in the background.
What on earth is this fascination with double 15 at the minute? It's like Luke Littler is the Pied Piper.
100.
And everybody thinks, oh, double 15's rather fashionable. Let's go for that then. Well, Simon in the past has liked double 15 as a starting double in double start competitions.
100.
But as a finishing double, slightly out of character a little bit.
And part of the reason behind that thinking is because he
92.
can just stay at the same target area, akin to what you would do if you're starting up on double top.
Well, if you think about a regulation 87 checkout, you go 17, 20 in ball. That's quite linear, all down the middle of the board.
85.
If you go 19s, treble 18, double 7, that's low left, top right, low left. That's a hard transition.
133.
However, Simon Whitlock does things on the dartboard which sometimes raise his eyebrows. He opens up the board in a way that maybe not many others do. As for Neil Duff,
100.
he's struggling to get on the board in this contest. Finding himself behind, and Whitlock with Sixham here to open up a 2-0 lead in the contest. And he's carrying on really
100.
where he left off last night, averaging, I know still early days, but 92 and change, and just looks so solid.
You average that for the night, it will take you far. Especially when you've got a 6-point start.
50. Samuel Carr 76.
This looks conventional. Staying up top and missing a single.
55. $60. Samuel Carr 21.
How often do you see someone at 21?
Getting shown the second
There
leg,
is
Simon
nothing
Whitlock.
wrong with that. 2 darts at a double, 2 hits.
But like Neil
and
did for
Neil's
the first,
problem is
game
he's not
on.
getting close to a double.
Well, you mentioned that. Really, apart from 25, there's not an odd number in the 20 to 30 range, which you will see
100.
left with any kind of regularity whatsoever. And that's mainly because if you're going to do so, it's as a result of a miss. Something's gone skew-whiff somewhere to leave yourself in that kind of region.
140.
I think Simon's going to be disappointed with that 140 right there. I know the second dart has kicked down a little bit, but look how close he's getting those points together. Mind you, I mean,
140.
Neil's doing exactly the same with that 140, but he might be a little bit late to the party here.
I suppose if there's one game you can perhaps afford a slow start against, it's against
100.
Simon Whitlock, because it's the one, yes, he would lose and lose top spot, but actually in terms of qualifying is the one that in terms of the table, would do the least amount of damage. Whereas if this was against, say, Steve West or Paul Hogan, then this would be magnified. But he's finding a route back into the game, leaving 81 after 9 on throw.
Yeah, I see your point. I think there's a situation here tonight that Neil would like to grasp. But let's see if he can get into this game. That's a good accident. Let's see if he can make the most of it. Now, this top shot, is it left?
41.
From his viewpoint, I suppose it had to be.
21.
Well, Neil Duff was the king of the 1-2-1 yesterday. Took it out twice against Steve West. But is he going to be hoisted by his own petard here? Whitlock able to find the treble 17, which would have afforded him a dart at the bull. Duff's had just the one dart at a double in this game. But eventually finds double 10 and eventually gets himself on the board. If he didn't take that, there was a large possibility he could find himself a double break of throw behind in this game.
Yeah, just on that point of maybe he's got Simon at the right point of this group based on where 100. The points are at this point in time. If you offered Neil Duff the option of, if I beat Trina Gulliver in my last match and that gets 81. Me through, he would take that right now. Because we've got no idea what's going to happen over the next 8.5 matches before that takes place.
60.
But he's someone who does back himself. He's going to make Saturday once again in a special week.
95.
You give him one match, one opponent, he would back himself to win that game to get through.
And part of the reason behind that is because he's evidently shown on more than one occasion, particularly in this building, that put the chips down, he was able to come out the other side. I mean, we were both at the Lakeside almost 4 years ago when 60. He looked dead and buried against Jim McEwen. 3 sets to 1 down in a race to 4. Little Richard Ashdown was stood at the side of the stage, Dr. Death himself, ready to call the players off, Jim McEwen the winner, and then Duff brings out 3 sets in a row to win the 41. Most epic of Lakeside contests.
I'm still reeling from the fact that that was nearly 4 years ago.
Is that because you've only just recovered from the Lakeside karaoke of that year?
It's got nothing to do with it, Henry.
57.
I can't believe that was nearly 4 years ago.
Feels like yesterday, doesn't it?
In my own mind, it feels like 2 years ago.
100.
That's a good tone from Whitlock. He did want an extra treble to make sure that he was on a double with his next dart.
85.
Oh, that's not good.
60.
That's a bad last start from Neil. Okay, now he's got a marker. This could work out really well.
Oh my. Fourth leg, Simon Whitlock.
Do we know Simon Whitlock or do we know Simon Whitlock?
And that's the type of thing that only Simon Whitlock is seemingly capable of, because these situations seem to happen to him more often than many other top pros. Now, his doubling last night was superb. 14 hits 85. And 31 attempts, 45%. He's 3 for 3 in this contest. And it's felt like that's been his big key. That's been the thing that separated him from the rest of the pack. And at times in the Australian Premier League, someone that's renowned as a power scorer at times, he was outscored at points in the Aussie Premier League. You were commentating on it, but it was his finishing under pressure which 45. Stood him out from the rest.
There were people who were outplaying him.
Jack, 55. Sorry.
For weeks. Ben Robb outdid him in Canberra. Brodie Kling was a better player than Simon for a good couple of weeks. Tim Pusey was more likely to make the playoffs 57. Than him going towards the end of the campaign. But the fact is he made the playoffs and was the best player in Brisbane. That's timing.
81.
That's experience.
And I get the sense the ANZ Premier League, well, he said it last night in the studio with us, that's going to be his utmost priority in 2026.
He'll be back in that because he's the defending champion. And he's the greatest Australian player ever. So if they think they're not going to invite him into that again, think again. He's got to be in it.
Well, he could wrap this one up with a big fish.
Simon Car 170.
He's got plenty of time on his side. Averaging 93.5, not missed a dart at a double in this contest. And this is the
56.
kind of level, it's good, but it's attainably good as well. He can comfortably play to this standard all night long.
Yeah, this kind of average can do a lot of damage at the Modus Super Series and
134.
especially in this kind of
Seneca,
special week.
114.
Now, I've seen him go 19s on this before. All about the 19s.
58. Neil
He had a 170 left. And he's only scored 114. But my word, is that beneficial to Whitlock or what?
Well, it's been a disastrous start to the night for Neil Duff.
25. Seneca, 56.
Whitlock, from start to finish, has been exemplary. And that leaves double 4. And that would have been for 4 from 4 on the doubles.
52.
However, a
Neil
couple of match
79.
starts missed has presented an opportunity to Neil here.
He only scored 25 to leave this 79. He probably thought the game was up. Time to scrap.
59.
Scrap,
Seneca,
he
4.
cannot.
And the next thing he expects to do is shake the hand of Simon Whitlock. However, he's chasing around the madhouse.
No score.
And he drops low and Duff's been presented with a chance that's not been there all game long.
This is just like the Johnny Haynes game from Thursday afternoon. He was 3 from 3 and ended up losing 4-3.
10.
But Neil can't get across the line.
Seneca, 4.
Well, for the first 3 legs, Simon Whitlock was exemplary. And even though he's had a couple of jitters towards the finishing post, Neil Duff has allowed him opportunities. He's tattooed the board,
Game
and now
show
he
match,
finds
Simon
himself
Whitlock.
on the board for the night, sealing a 4-1 success against Neil Duff. And that's a win which puts him on 8 points and puts him on the cusp of qualification. For the first 3-4 legs, Simon Whitlock was averaging in the mid-90s, missed 6 match darts, but eventually crosses the line for 1. Coming up next, Trina Gulliver takes on Steve West. Welcome back to the Modus Super Series where before the break, Simon Whitlock got the better of Neil Duff by 4 legs to 1. The same scoreline which the Wizard beat the Duff man by last night. Which now opens up the door for Steve West to move on to 6 points and with the legs difference in a better position than Neil Duff to move up to 2nd position in the table. Up against Trina Gulliver, who last night didn't go to plan. Got off to a decent enough start, led halfway through her match against Neil Duff, but lost that one and then legs were difficult to come by. For Steve, looks very relaxed this evening, doesn't he? He knows there's a job to do and he will focus fully on the task ahead, but he does seem as if he's in a relaxed, jovial mood this evening. And we know when Steve West is in a position where he can just stand back and throw, that can be dangerous for the opposition. A nice warm embrace before we start. And for Steve, a real opportunity here to really lay a marker early on.
Here's a question for you, Henry. Has anybody gone back-to-back in specials weeks? Because he won double trouble. If he succeeds again in the next 25 hours, that'll be back-to-back weeks for West.
To the best of my knowledge, nobody's won more than one specials week here. Neil Duff won the first double start, then Robert Thornton, then Andreas Harrison, then Steve West, of course, as you rightly mentioned. Women's Week has been won by 4 separate players. International pairs have been won by 2 different teams.
So to answer the question, in the next 25 hours, Steve West could make history at the Modus Super Series again. That would add a bit of fuel to the old Duff and West rivalry fire.
Oh, let's not go there, shall we?
I'm only jesting.
Just to dot the I's and cross the T's, the other specials weeks winners were this tournament last year, Richie Howson, and on the other side of the spectrum, the Rising Stars winner being Henry Coates.
Yeah, I don't think Westy's going to go for that one anytime soon, unless he's got a time machine.
Well, not in this life anyway.
135.
Is that your way of saying he's going to be reincarnated into a young dart player in about 75 years?
Well, one day we'll probably be ending up commentating on the Super Series in the sky.
Super Series in the sky. Oh, not another missed single.
30.
It's contagious.
131.
He gets to tops. But he can't get the first one.
91. Trina car 36.
And so double AT for Gulliver to get up and running.
Getting shown the first
And up and running she is. She did lead 1-0 and 2-1 in her contest against Neil Duff at the beginning of Thursday evening. And she strikes an early blow to the Steve West stranglehold at the beginning of her first game on Friday night. I was speaking to Trina earlier on this morning.
60.
She came into the venue just before 8 o'clock tonight. She was saying that she's rested up, ready to go. Had a really good night's sleep. Had a power nap this afternoon.
95.
Woke up about 5 o'clock and feels energized and raring to go.
I'm glad you said the word power, by the way. Because you speak to any
24.
legendary dart player, someone who's won a world championship or multiple majors or world championships in the past, and they will always say that if you're playing late at night,
80.
anytime after 7 o'clock, the best thing you can do is program a nap into your day to make sure that you've got no tiredness towards the end of whatever you do.
140.
This is what elite athletes do, and elite thinkers as well. People who play elite chess, high-stakes Yahtzee, high-stakes poker. I'm not kidding, Henry.
62.
That thing between the ears is rather important. If you can rest it ahead of a night like tonight, all the better for it.
I'm just intrigued that there's a world championship in Yahtzee.
57.
I didn't say there was a world championship in it. There's just high-stakes Yahtzee. It's usually in Denmark.
I remember speaking to Tony O'Shea about this in the past. I know that he's mentioned it when he's done interviews and stuff. Before he played Lakeside Finals, he'd make a specific point of he'd do all his media work in the morning, and he'll tell everybody to get out of his sight and just he'll go to bed for a couple of hours just to recharge the batteries.
Yeah, very smart. Just like this could be on the bull.
99.
Just get the feeling that
Trina
Trina didn't know what
80.
West was on there and might have been a little bit distracted by what he possibly could have had. We know what he's got now.
40.
Well, this has been a really
Trina
inviting start for
25.
Trina, averaging just under 95 here as we head towards the close of the second leg. But missing the big number there means it's only going to be one, or at least should be one, to go 2 up and to strike a big blow to
21.
Steve West. But that
Trina
feels like a
40.
big opportunity missed.
He can't miss that single. Steve can't miss this. That's a great
Gauge
dart.
on the second leg, Steve West. Third leg, Trina to throw first.
I think there's a little bit of relief from Steve right there. That could have been a leg that slipped away. But if you're missing that big single that Trina did in the second consecutive
60.
leg, she wasn't burned by the first one, but was by the second.
Well, let's break down Steve West's evening yesterday. Averaged
51.
88.69 over the course of his 4 games yesterday. His doubling was the best of anybody in the group. 48% over his 4 games, 12 hits and 25
140.
attempts.
And if you take his Group A average and compare it to last night, he went up by 5 points.
100.
That's really encouraging.
4 180s, 2 tub plus checkouts, including that audacious 101, bull 1 bull.
45.
But I get the sense this is Steve West's time slot. This is the one which he really enjoys.
I get the feeling that that 101 checkout is going to be called the John Worsley. The
60.
Bull 1 Bull. There it is. Laid it down for you, John. He's called the 1 Bull. He's going to have to go for that shot now. John Worsley is someone who's played here many times at the Modus Super Series.
25.
He's from Chepstow in Wales and has somewhat famously hit a 9-darter in practice. But it didn't count.
Former weekly winner, Jonathan Worsley. As
180.
Steve West piles in the first max of his night, just the second of the evening. He's himself on 110 to get the break and to
60.
get his nose in
Supercar
front for the first
110.
time. And he's got 6 of them here because Trina's left herself on 171.
$70.
What Steve has just done to the board is what myself and Henry have just done as well. I've never seen him miss tops by that much.
Well, he lives in Waterlooville, so you could actually say it was closer to where he lives.
Supercar 40.
He could sing the song, "It's a long way to Waterlooville. It's a long way to go." Well, this is even harder than the previous shot at double 10.
20. Trina car 114.
114 for Gulliver. Now looking at treble 18. Unable to get, and so West will be presented with 3 more opportunities.
98.
Well, we tell you how good his
20.
doubling was yesterday, but he's 1 from 8 on the outer ring in this particular contest.
Getting shown the third
Well, you can make
leg,
that
Steve
2 from
West.
9, and you can make it 2-1 to Steve West. And most importantly,
Ball
he's
like
got
Steve
the
to
break
throw
that he
first.
needs at some
Game
point
on.
if he's going to win this contest.
Very rarely will you have 2 nights back-to-back where your doubling is the same.
140.
It's way more likely there will be worse or better. If he goes up there and he has 45 to 48% on the doubles again,
140.
he'd be as shocked as us. He would like it to be better, but it's more likely to be slightly worse. It's about limiting the misses and indeed
121.
limiting the vital misses. It's the shots at double 10 to stop Gulliver getting that extra chance.
You're going to make errors in this game. It's a sport of fine margins,
100.
but it's limiting the unforced errors that's the key. The stuff that's silly, niggly, and you know that you didn't have to
60.
do.
Missing singles. But even the best players in the world miss singles. Said it earlier this afternoon, live on Pluto TV, that
30.
there was a game at the World Championship where Luke Littler missed 4 singles in a match. He's probably never done that. And if he has, he probably hasn't done it since he was about 12.
140.
However, when you're that good, you don't need to limitate that damage. West leaving tots after 12 to go 2 clear, 1 away.
57.
And what he craves right
Stephen
now
Carr,
is
40.
just a nice clean tops, either with 1 or 2. Keeps missing it low. I'm
30.
fascinated by that. He could have left tops again, but has decided to go for the 5s.
$43. Stephen Carr, 10.
So 2 5s to move 2 clear. That is a beautiful guide.
Getting shot on the
Follows
fourth
it
by
in
Steve
beautifully and now leads 3-1. He has breathing space all of a sudden,
West.
Steve
Looks like
West.
Trina to throw first. Game on.
I have a bit of an idea as to why he did that. He is an aggressive player. He's not someone who tends to lay up a lot. But if you look at the misses
41.
he's had at tops, they've been just under target, which is the height of double 5. So maybe he thought in his own mind, if I throw my natural shot at tops,
140.
left of that, I'm going to hit 5s. And it happened. I don't know whether that's after the fact thinking on my part.
95.
I'm just trying to hijack his brain and figure out what he was doing. Because the sensible thing to do was to bust the score and go back to tops.
83.
In fact, I'm just whirling through my very small brain here. Steve West would be only the second player to win back-to-back weeks.
81.
And what I mean by that is winning a week and then another week, because Scott Taylor won
Series
Series
6,
6 Week 12, won the Series 6 Champions Week. No other player's done that. Crabtree couldn't. He got to a final. You've had players who played specials weeks in Week 1, but they were unable to do that. Neil Duff being one of them.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, actually. Maybe it's good that Steve doesn't know that, because
60.
if you say it to him, he
Stephen
could
Carr,
make history
98.
tomorrow. He would get distracted. All's well that ends well. Isn't it right, Steve?
Getting shot on the mat, Steve
He
West.
finally hits tops. That was not the kind of game that he wanted to put together, but he did get the result he needs. And it's the kind of performance that we got from him in an average sense over the course of night 1 in its entirety. 88 average and a 4-1 victory, and West is going up the table.
He will be disappointed with that. He wanted to have
Graham
one dart.
requires 20.
Graham Usher wins the first game of Champions Night, and it was an absolute ripper. He hit one of them on tops. He missed one on double 12. Which one is it? It's the hit.
Outside opportunity for Andy Hamilton. Van der Velde should be getting a match start again here. He's already had one. Mr. Dart at tops for the match to win 4-1. And he Dart at double 16 gets the job done there for Jurgen van der Velde. He gets over the line with a 4-2-6.
Did he go for the tops, or did he just overshoot the single? Jimmy doesn't care. Jimmy just looks to eat this up to make the semi-finals for the second time. Adam Gablas has been eliminated. Keep us guessing. This time he's trying to leave double 18. He knows best, and he takes the lead. He's 2 darts away
Jeff requires 86.
from a Super Series final. He's 1 dart away. He doesn't need any more darts. Jeff Smith makes
The Series 11 final. Is Usher losing his cool a little bit here?
Oh, absolutely. Right now, I'd say the head's gone. And you don't have long to recover. It is very, very short form at darts. Vansky's halfway to victory.
He only needs one more.
Jimmy Vansky is yet again into a Modus Super Series final.
Flashback vibes. Can Jimmy Vansky do the same? Just needs the one treble here on the 19s. Finds it. For the ball.
101.
Oh, unlucky. A lot of pressure on it. He's going to split it. 2 darts for double four for the match.
Game. Shot. And the Modus Super Series 11 champion.
Jeff Smith!
Welcome back to the live lounge reports of his Modus Super Series action on this Friday evening. And before the break, Steve West got the better of Trina Gulliver by 4 legs to 1 to move up to second position in the table. Simon Whitlock finishing off his final practice darts ahead of a meeting with Paul Hogan. And Whitlock with a victory here would guarantee his place through to Saturday night's final. Trina Gulliver on 0 points. Sometimes it doesn't mean that players make it through, but the legs difference one way and the other means that Whitlock with a victory will guarantee his passage through. As for Paul Hogan, the 62-year-old from Basingstoke, he kicks off his night right here, right now, on 4 points, 0 legs difference following the first night's worth of play. A win here of any description would see him into the top 3. And it means that Neil Duff, the player which at the beginning of the evening was joint top of the table with Simon Whitlock, started in second, would be down to 4th come the end of the third match. So Simon Whitlock qualifies with a win. Just to paint the picture elsewhere, Trina Gulliver must win all 3 of her remaining games to be in with a chance of qualification through to tomorrow night's final. But for Simon Whitlock, it's in his hands. 3 shots at qualification, and at some point you get the sense he's going to get it right.
Yeah, you would think so. I know that Trina's still got a chance mathematically, but she's 17
83.
legs behind Neil Duff. And he's in 3rd position. It doesn't sound very likely to me. But I think Whitlock would like to get this done as soon as possible. He's the one who was finishing his quarter of matches before anybody else tonight.
60.
He ends against Gulliver in game number 8. That's the benefit of starting late on a Thursday.
137.
Nice to see Paul Hogan's got the old Aussie colours on tonight. I know it's West Brom, everybody. Don't worry. I'm poking fun.
135.
Looks like a derby match, doesn't it?
Well, it looks like the 2 opening batters for the
133.
Australian one-day international side in those colours. Not sure Marnus Hogan would quite catch on.
95. Samrakar 78.
This is going to be treble 20 for double 9, isn't it? That's what he wanted. Okay.
40. Polakar 128.
Go figure.
As we mentioned earlier, Simon Whitlock sometimes isn't a man for convention on the dartboard, and that's another example which typifies it.
42.
He's just
Samrakar
taken
38.
the rule book and passed it over a Bunsen burner.
Although it would have been ironic if he split
He's
it
on the
from that
first leg,
point. He
Simon
does hit
Whitlock.
the double 19 and leads 1-0.
Maybe he just likes green doubles.
Second
Double
leg, Paul
9,
is
double
through first.
19.
Game on.
Earlier on in the game, that he had with Neil Duff. He was trying to leave double 15.
There's a reason why he goes
60.
that way on 17, because he likes going across the line of sight. He doesn't like to divert away from a line of vision unless he has to.
This is really encouraging. I feel like I'm overusing that word, but Whitlock's playing some really good stuff the last 25 hours.
100.
I'm starting to get the feeling that if he spends a bit more time in Australia and he comes back to England with this kind of form, who knows what he could do? You don't
80.
write him off. As soon as you think he's finished, he's going to do something else.
Do you remember how every year we have a discussion who's the best player about a tour card?
60.
I'm not going there on the 9th of January, but...
Q School's not even finished.
But, if Simon Whitlock can attain levels to this throughout the full duration of the year, he could very much be in the conversation for somebody that does the most tangible damage away from the Challenge Tour circuit. He's averaging, and I know it's not even the end of leg 2 yet, but 108.5.
60. Samuel Carr, 61.
I'm trying not to get carried away with what he's doing, but it is tops for a 12.
21.
I didn't want to speculate what he was going to go for on 61 either. Nothing's off the table. He went 2 20s for double 19 on 78. I've never seen anybody do that.
80. Samuel Carr, 40.
Well, he's left tops after 12. And gets the job done in 15. 2-0 Whitlock. He is breezing through tonight so far.
The job he's doing the best here is he's limiting the darts at double for his opponents early in games. Neil Duff's first dart at a double was late in that first game of the night.
60.
Hogan hasn't had one yet.
And this could spell disaster for Crocodile Dundee, because I know Trina can still mathematically qualify, but realistically she's out the equation. With the 4 players that have got the best chance of making it through, it would make Paul Hogan the back marker. The only thing he does have as a saving grace is Steve West takes on Neil Duff next, and Hogan takes on Trina Gulliver in game 5. So he could make up ground if he loses this, depending on how things go in the next couple.
100.
If you want to know a bit of a sign that is the same as last night, Whitlock got no 180s in his first game against Gulliver 24 hours ago.
100.
In his next game after that, he got 4 against West in a 4-2 victory. He's already got 3 in this one, and it's only leg 3.
85.
We spoke about attainable standards. I know the average in the end was 83. That's because he missed a lot of darts to win the contest. But for the most part, he was averaging around 94, which is a kind of level which, at his pomp, he was averaging for seasons. So certainly a level even now he can still attain over the course of the night. And he's certainly showing indications of that, and maybe a level just a bit above here.
A lot of Simon's best seasons were pre-Dart Connect. We really don't know how good he was, statistically. We just know how good he's being right now.
54.
Paul Hogan could get a dart at a double here
145.
if he gets 2 trebles. There's one. So far away from another.
85. Simon Carr, 20.
So 2 10s for 3 zip.
Getting shown the
That
third leg,
target
Samuel Whitlock.
has been laser-like for him tonight.
Fourth leg Paul is for
Frightening
first.
more like.
Game on.
He's planting that dart in the double 10 like he's throwing a javelin at a barn door.
41.
The last 6 months, Simon Whitlock has stepped up a level, particularly the last 3.
47.
And I just wonder what kind of fillip winning that ANZ Premier League has been for him.
I'm not even sure if it's all about that. Simon's a very proud Aussie. He
100.
loves where he's from. We spoke yesterday in the studio about how he's lived a lot of time in Queensland in Deception Bay.
140.
If it was up to him, I think he'd still be there. But he's still got unfinished business in Europe. But I think every time he goes to Australia, he comes back renewed,
121.
remembering who he is. And we're starting to see what he's like when he comes back
58.
renewed. This is not the Simon Whitlock that played here last year. This is better.
99.
And the mind already looks forward to the next series, and I'm sure, not that people know what week Simon Whitlock's in, but whoever's in his week will not look forward to the proposition of trying to depose him if he's in this kind of nick. 4th 180 of the game.
He's making Hogan smile. Hang on a minute. Might be smiling for a different reason now.
120.
And that might be that. That may be the only dart he gets at a double in the entire match.
Hits the crossbar and presents an opportunity for Simon to win this game. Double 18 for a 4-0 win.
40.
And that is a
20.
qualification dart that's come and gone. Is he going to get more? Yes, he is.
Simon 36.
He's been head and shoulders the best player in this group, and he's stepped up another level tonight. He's played 2 of the first 3. And he's won 2 of the first 3. And that's job done for Simon Whitlock. He's going to be in tomorrow night's final here at the Senior Showdown. He gets the better of Paul Hogan by 4-0. He's won his opening 2 games tonight with the concession of a solitary leg. A really good performance, an average of 92.5, 4 180s. Decent doubling as well, 4 from 12. Whitlock's through. Westby Duff's a big game to see who's going to join him.
He will be disappointed with that. He wanted to have
Graham
one dart for the
requires 20.
Graham Usher wins the first game of Champions Night, and it was an absolute ripper. He hit one of them on tops. He missed one on double 12. Which one is it? It's the hit.
Outside opportunity for Andy Hamilton. Van der Velde should be getting a match start again here. He's already had one. Mr. Dart at tops for the match to win 4-1. And the Dart at double 16 gets the job done there for Jorgen van der Velde. He gets over the line with a 4-2.
Did he go for tops, or did he just overshoot the single? Jimmy doesn't care. Jimmy just looks to eat this up to make the semi-finals for the second time. Adam Kaplas has been eliminated. Keep us guessing. This time he's trying to leave double 18. He knows best, and he takes the lead. He is 2 darts away
Jeff requires 86.
from a Super Series final. He's 1 dart away. He doesn't need any more darts. Jeff Smith makes the Series 11 final. Is Usher losing his cool a little bit here?
Oh, absolutely. Right now, I'd say the head's gone. And you don't have long to recover. It is very, very short format darts. Vansky's halfway to victory.
He only needs 1 more. Jimmy Vansky is yet again into a Modus Super Series final.
Flashback vibes Just can Jimmy Van Ski do the same? Just needs the one treble here on the 19s, finds it. For the ball.
101.
Oh, unlucky. A lot of pressure on it. He's going to split it. 2 darts for double fourth in the match.
Game. Go. And the Modus Super Series 11 champion, Jim Smith.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series. We're here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth. Before the break, Simon Whitlock was the first player to confirm himself through to tomorrow night's final, courtesy of a 4-0 win over Paul Hogan. We're whizzing through the games tonight. We're at game number 4 already on this Friday evening, and we have not got to the 11 o'clock mark as of yet. And this one is going to be fast, furious, as the rivalry in this building between Steve Rest and Neil Duff renews. These two of the most successful players we've ever seen here at the Super Series. Between them, they share 12 titles, splits fairly, 6 apiece across all competitions. It starts off jovially, but my goodness, if there's one player that each other will want to beat tonight, it is the guy that they are looking at eyeball to eyeball right now.
100.
It's an interesting dynamic, this game. It was on Monday morning.
83.
But when you look at the fact that Neil has won all 4 fixtures this week, it's actually irrelevant what's happened
100.
Monday to Thursday, because this is the game where someone could really bolster their position and get into Saturday. Because that's the mission, isn't it? Monday to
97.
Friday, to make Saturday.
$85.
Where it does become pertinent is how West feels about losing 4 out of 4. Does that have
95.
any pertaining to how he feels when this fixture starts again?
Well, Steve West knows how to get through, having picked up 8 points, having won 4 and lost 4
95.
one night to the other. He doesn't want to go through that rigmarole the same. He'll try and keep it as simple as he can. And you get the sense at some of the
86.
meetings in the latter half of the
Supercar
evening where Hogan
121.
will take on both West and Duff, will be also pivotal as to who is going to make it through on top of this particular game right here, right now. He was hit by a couple of 1-2-1s
96.
yesterday by the
Supercar
Duff man.
140.
He almost hoisted the former Lakeside champion by that particular petard.
100. Supercar 25.
Double 12.
Game shot the first leg. Steve
That's a
West.
good sign. Now, Neil averaged
Second leg Neil through
75
first. Game on.
in his first performance of the night. He was the second best player in that fixture against Whitlock. And he didn't play particularly well in his
100.
first game on Thursday night. However, when he played his second game on day 1 of Group B, his rebound was brilliant. He went from an 82 average
61.
to a 98. He's going to need to have the same quality again. If he can respond with a 20% bounce back,
140.
which is exactly what he did yesterday, he's got a good chance of getting a result. But with that start, West will feel like this is his time.
Well, that looked like a maximum if you've ever seen one. The first dart was gaping for bedfellows.
$85.
And the disappointment there for Duff is that straight into the single 5 is the difference between him being and not being on a finish. And West of a singular treble, providing he stays straight, will be on one himself to break the throw.
100.
and to go 2-0 up and to put himself halfway towards the finishing post.
That's a great 140 from Neil.
Safety car 160.
Big pressure on the 160 now. That shot is off even before it starts.
60. Neil car 36.
Well, double 18 to level up, and that's a 13 darter for Neil Duff. And this is the kind of contest you come to expect when these two duke it out on the live lounge stage.
Just looking at Neil's remaining fixtures, even if he were to lose to West here, he's got Hogan and Gulliver left. He's got the people underneath
45.
him in the table. So he could be the one with the gavel.
45.
Now, he wants to beat West 5 out of 5. Of course he does. But if he doesn't, he's still got 2 games to make sure he's in Saturday night once again.
100.
There isn't anybody who's won all the different specials weeks.
100.
Seniors week, only the second time it's been run. Double Trouble, they've both won it.
96.
International pairs, West has given it a crack, but didn't win it. The reason I'm saying that is,
85.
if that's communicated to Steve, that is something he'll want. There's a collection of trophies here at the Live Lounge. You want to see you've lifted them all. So, he hasn't won the pairs, hasn't won the senior showdown.
140.
How on earth has he found that? Seriously, he threw that from downtown. It was like a Kobe Bryant alley-oop.
So what you're saying is Steve West might well be on a
101.
mission to
Safety car
complete the
120.
Specials Week Triple Crown.
Everything. I mean everything. Weekly. Series. Senior showdown.
60. Neil the car
Double Trouble.
170.
He wants all of them.
Well, Duff isn't going fishing. But West looking to be dishing up this 60 to go 2-1 to the good. And it feels like one of those contests that if you miss, the other guy hits.
40.
West misses.
Neil
Is
the car
that fair and true?
52.
He's not been very good on tops tonight.
$32.
Double 10 is getting a
Neil the
lot of
car
action.
20.
And it is about to do so again.
Game shot on the third leg, Steve
And as
West.
bad as Steve has been on tops, in his own words, I'm sure in his own head,
To the first. Game on.
he's been really good on tens.
Well, you speak so often about primary and secondary targets on the board. So if you like double top, then you need to get trained
125.
on double 10 because there's going to be a number of occasions where you find yourself there. If the primary target doesn't work out, you need to make sure the secondary one is just as
100.
up to scratch.
That's why we play a practice game called Transition. This is a game that Keegan Brown taught me. You need to figure out how to go from double 18 to double 9.
140.
How to go from 12s to 6s to 3s. 16s to 8s to 4s. This transitional practice game gets you used to going from top to bottom to right to left.
140.
It's a brilliant game. What you do in practice, and
57.
I'm going to use the words of Luke Humphreys from recently, meaningful practice. It's not just throwing at a dartboard and thinking that's good enough. If you do meaningful practice, things that you can use in-game, you're more likely
81.
to succeed.
6 darts here to level up at 2-2.
83.
Leaves himself on a 2-darter, but may leave himself vulnerable if West can find something handy here. And he finds another one of them. He's left tops after 12 again. And more
140.
pertinently this time,
Neil the car 96.
he's left tops after 12 against the throw. This feels must hit for Neil Duff. And
Game
to
shot
his
on the
credit,
12
he's
leg, Neil
executed in 2. 14 darter, just as West was
Looks like
tapping
Steve
him
to
on
throw
the shoulder
first.
for the
Game on.
break.
That's stunning. Lost count of how many times I've seen that from world-class players over the years. Someone hits a max or a
100.
140 to leave a double, and you're stuck on a 2-darter like 96. You take it out in 2, and that swells your confidence to the size of a balloon.
95.
If you want a match play situation that typifies Neil Duff as a darts player, it is that moment right there. Your opponent on tops after 12, looking to break you.
140.
He's on 96. He takes it out in 2.
It's a darting counterpunch. Stiff jab from the opponent.
85.
You get the leg knockout punch. I can say hand on heart. I played Peter Wright in a semi-final in Crawley once.
60.
I left tops after 12 and he took out 96 for an 11-dart break to beat me. And I just topped my darts onto the table and said, that's
60.
just too good.
Ah, the infamous K2 in Crawley, a venue perhaps most famous for Ronnie O'Sullivan's quote saying it smelt of urine.
139.
Did he ever win there?
I don't know.
140. Supercar 62.
This has been one of those numbers today. This is a big moment. Tops.
22.
It still
Supercar
isn't working.
121.
Not this number again. It can't be a third one, surely. Bullseye again.
96.
I think if that had
Supercar
gone in,
40.
West would have said, right, okay, I'm sick of this now.
Well, there would have been a Tungsten Groundhog Day feel about it if the 1-2-1 went again
Being shown
against
with
West.
flag, Steve
But that
West.
double 10, once again, being centre of
Six flag Neil to
attention.
throw first. Game on.
But it's a double 10. We see Steve West 3-2 to the good. And that hit of double 10 has eliminated
100.
Trina Gulliver from the race to qualify through to tomorrow night's final.
I think it was only a matter of time. When you've got a minus leg
134.
difference at minus 16, and you've only got 3 games to go, that is never a good thing.
66.
How often does Neil play this erratic and get away with it? He's hitting 5s and 1s,
140.
straying from his requisite big single targets. And there it is again.
However, he's still able to find big trebles either side, as you can see
121.
there. Both players averaging mid to high 90s. West 95.39, Duff 96.68. This has been a high quality encounter. It's been a real joust. You expect nothing less from this pair.
57.
And look what West has left to win this contest. And he may well be forced to take out the 170
100.
if he wants to win
Supercar
this game 4-2. And we
170.
don't know how important legs difference could be later on tonight.
He didn't attack it.
130.
Oh, he's left tops,
Neil
though.
114.
Can we get another counter punch from Duff? Maybe. What
Being
a
shown with
shot.
Six flag Neil Duff.
What a fixture this is. What is it
Shown
about
with
these
final
two
leg, Steve
guys
to throw first.
going toe
Game
to
on.
toe in this place? And Steve West just can't seem to topple Duff.
This is like two heavyweights throwing punch after punch, haymaker after haymaker, knocking each other black and blue.
57.
But have a look at Neil Duff. He's won his legs in 13, 14, 15, all in 5-visit range. Everything in this game has gone with throw.
100.
Steve West hopes that that is a continuous pattern in this match.
Hope is a dangerous thing in darts.
60.
You don't hope, you execute. And Duff has already got the throw.
60.
I have to say, this has been a real enjoyable watch. Proper contest, this.
Oh, Steve needed that first start.
100.
but he's wavering. I think he would admit that he's had one good dart in his first 9 in this leg.
60.
Well, the door was ajar there for Neil Duff, but we're none the wiser after 9 darts thrown each in this last leg.
Now he's had 3 good
140.
darts in this leg.
Big last dart to leave himself on a finish. Duff himself needs 2 trebles. He may well get all 3.
140.
They just will not leave each other alone.
$58.
Well,
Well,
well.
141.
What happens next? Don't look, Steve. Do not look.
120.
Just on the inside.
86.
And I think Steve West, in his heart of hearts, probably expected that double 12 to go. But he's only going to get 1 match start at double 7. He's got the Brucey bonus.
Game
And it's
shot
a
on the match,
bonus
Steve
he
West.
takes to the bank and runs with. It's a 4-3 win for Steve West, which puts him in pole position. For Neil Duff, it's the worst possible start to the night. He had a match start at double 12 off the back of the 1-4-1 finish. But it is Steve West who is 2 wins from 2. Duff losing with an average of 97.5. 3 from 7 in terms of his finishing. But it is Steve West who finds himself in pole position in the race to qualify through alongside Simon Whitlock. Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius? Yes. Let's do it then. Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Lewandowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new Modus Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th Modus Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison!
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor!
One more time, your new Modus Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Lidlow! Welcome back to the Modus Super Series. We've reached the halfway point of Friday night here on the south coast of England. And we have a meeting between Paul Hogan and Trina Gulliver to take us through to the halfway point in proceedings. Before the break, Steve West got the better of Neil Duff by 4 legs to 3. West now moves on to 8 points. Neil Duff still in a qualifying position and will be regardless of what happens in this game between Paul Hogan and Neil Duff because of Paul Hogan's legs difference. 4 points minus 4. Even with a 4-0 win,
First leg, Paul.
Hogan would have won less legs than Neil Duff.
Game on.
And so, regardless of the outcome, we'll be in full position. But I suppose the one advantage Paul Hogan has is his last 2 games is against Steve and Neil, which means that effectively, if he can win this game, his destiny's in his own hands. Because if he can do the job against the pair of them, then he'll send himself through and send one of them home.
100.
He did play some of his best darts towards the end of yesterday's session. Looks like he's going to have to do the same again.
100.
And it might be happening again. First 180 of the night for Hoagie. And the typical dart player reaction of where's that been?
85.
A celebration that we like to call the How's Your Luck Kev.
$60.
They must have made their debut at Lakeside around the same time. If I was
60.
having a stab in the dark with my
161.
darting memory, I'd say that's bang on. I think Kevin Painter did make his debut at Lakeside in '95. If he didn't, he was definitely there. I remember him being in the VT
136.
package at the end of the tournament.
Year out. You're like, I'm going to be Ken Bruce here. You're 1 year out.
96.
1994.
Oh.
Lost
45.
to Kevin Kenny
Car 25.
in the first round by 3 sets to 2.
Kevin versus Kevin.
9.
Where have we seen Paul Hogan on double 8 before? That famous game in 2017 where he lost to Glenn Durrant. He could have taken Glenn out.
And how the course of time could have all changed.
It's a very, very good point. If Hogan hits that
41.
double 8
Paul
to
Car
take
16.
Durrant out, does he win 3 Lakesides?
Getting shown the first
He
leg,
might not
Paul
win
Hogan.
any.
Well,
leg Trina to
once
throw
bitten,
first.
twice
Game on.
shy. 9 years on.
This is, of course, shoulda, woulda, coulda. He didn't hit the double 8, and Glenn would
81.
go on to win 3 Lakesides, which is an incredible achievement. But I think even Paul Hogan thinks every now and again, what if I'd hit that double 8?
100.
And the worst thing probably as well was the fact that there was an advertisement break at the end of that particular set.
You love that phrasing today, don't you? Advertisement
47.
break.
Well, it was. There was an advertisement break at the end of that set. But actually, having a look at his Lakeside career,
60.
he lost a lot of games in last set deciders. Made his debut in 95, he lost 4-2. But the 2 years after that, he lost 3-2 in sets in the first round to Matt Clark.
45.
3-2 in sets the year after to Colin Monk in the first round. He then loses in the quarterfinals in 06, 5-4 to Jelle Klassen. In 2014, lost in the last set decider in the first round to Scott Mitchell.
81.
Then he lost 4-3 in sets to Glenn Durrant in 2017. And in his last appearance at Old Lakey, he lost by 2 sets to 1 to Justin Thompson. And do you want some more heart-taking last set deciders?
I'm sure you're going to tell me.
Sorry, Hoagie. But he also lost 3-2 to Jim Long at the Tavern in sets in the quarterfinals of the World Seniors Championship in 2024. Basically,
60.
he's glad this is leg play and not set play.
Did he play in 2020 at the Indigo?
He did. He got to the quarterfinals but got thumped 5-1
98.
by Jim Williams.
So, What we could say is for Paul Hogan, there's one missing piece of the puzzle. He's played at the
60.
Indigo, at
Trina
Lakeside,
170.
and the Tavern. He hasn't played at the Palace. Who's played at all of those?
34.
There's a
Car
teaser for you.
140.
The Hammer. Andy Hamilton.
Is he the only one?
21.
It can't be Bob.
Ah, there is
Car
another one.
136.
Oh, I'll get to the bottom of this. Is it Scotty Dog Mitchell?
Scott Mitchell. Who can say they've played in 4 World Championship venues?
Seemingly only 2 players.
We'll dig into that.
68.
There might be another.
Car 119.
Well, 119 for Hogan. Treble 20.
87.
And overplays played it free.
Car 68.
I know of a couple of players who played in free, actually. Via the Indigo tournament
score.
as Gulliver
Paul
busts
Car
68.
32.
And presents a gilt-edged chance here to Paul Hogan to make it 2-zip.
Game show in the
That
second leg.
squeezes
Paul
into the
Hogan.
bottom corner. There's a couple of players who played at the Indigo that's played at free venues.
Third leg Paul is
Andreas
first.
Harrison.
Game on.
Indigo, Lakeside, Ali Pally. In fact, probably with another year of the seniors, he probably would have got to the Circus Tavern. Leonard Gates has played
25.
Lakeside, Ali Pally, and Circus Tavern.
I know somebody else who's played at 4.
Lisa Ashton.
41.
John Lowe. 78. Different to 79. Different to 86. Different to 94 onwards.
And did play at the Circus Tavern in 2022.
He played at the PDC
81.
World Championship at the Tavern.
Can I raise you another one? Bob Anderson.
90.
Now, he would have played at... Would he have played at Jolly's? Yes, he would have played at Jolly's. He would have played at Lakeside. He would have played at the Circus Tavern
123.
and the Alexandra Palace.
He played at the Palace in 2008.
Yeah, lost to Jason Clark.
So there's 4.
100.
Played a couple of times at the World Seniors Championships. Didn't pick up a set.
So that's the magical number, isn't it? Because John Lowe did not play at the Palace. If he
100.
had, he'd have done 5.
Hang on a second. Didn't he play at the first one, which was held in Nottingham? Jolly's.
That's what I was saying.
Yes, oh yeah, you are correct.
There's a darts match going on, you know.
82. Paul
We're having
Car
some sort of debate as to
152.
who's played at the most World Championship venues. Great dart from Hogan, Nat. Sets up opportunities.
92.
He's going to have 60 when he comes back. What we can say, confidently, by the way, to shut this conversation off, is that if John Lowe had played at the Palace in 2008, just like Bob Anderson, he would have played at 5, and that would
100.
never be
Paul Car
beaten.
60.
20 for Tots, a free zip.
Game show
In
in the
it
third leg.
goes.
Paul
3-0
Hogan.
it is. Now, John Lowe has played at the
Fourth leg
Alexandra
Trina to
Palace.
throw
Doesn't
first.
count.
Game on.
At
That was the
News
news
of the World.
I'm already ahead of you.
2 semis, and he won his solitary title in 1981 when he beat Mick Norris
70.
by 2-0. Amazingly, that
100.
World Championship in 1993 was his last ever major final, let alone major victory. Never made one in the PDC.
That was on this day in 1993. And that's the only World Championship ever won
27.
on double 13. Something about the 9th of January. It was 10 years ago today that Trina Gulliver won her last
95.
world title against Dieter Hedman. 10 years ago today. And how many titles has she got? 10.
100.
Looking increasingly unlikely that she's going to get the win in this one.
100.
And her last two games against Whitlock and Duff will be to try and stop them getting what they want.
98.
That was an interesting play. This is where Hogan's got to make here while the sun is over the horizon.
44.
He's not on a finish, and that is a big mistake. Got to go to the 19s now, or the 16s. That'll do very nicely. I don't know about you, but I don't remember Trina taking out a 170 on a big stage.
Well, maybe
100.
now's the
Trina
time.
170.
Well, the big fish isn't going to be netted, but Crocodile Dundee
60.
is
Polly car,
hoping to get his
62.
claws stuck in and to seal a 4-0 win, which would put him on to 6 points and put him level on points and level on legs difference with Neil Duff in the race for third
Showdown
position. And
match
he
for
only
Hogan.
needed the one dart to get over the line against Trina Gulliver. A 4-0 win for Paul Hogan means that him, Neil Duff and Steve West are very much locked in a race for the final 2 spaces through to tomorrow night's final. That's the tail of the tape. Next up, Whitlock takes on West.
He will be disappointed with that. He wanted to have
Graham
one dart for the match.
requires 20.
Graham Usher wins the first game of Champions Night, and it was an absolute ripper. He hit one of them on tops. He missed one on double 12. Which one is it? It's the hit!
Outside opportunity for Andy Hamilton. Van der Velde should be getting a match start again here. He's already had one. Mr. Dart at tops for the match to win 4-1. And the Dart at double 16 gets the job done there for Jorgen van der Velde. He gets over the line with a 4-2-6.
Did he go for tops, or did he just overshoot the single? Jimmy doesn't care. Jimmy just looks to eat this up to make the semi-finals for the second time. Adam Kaplas has been eliminated. Keep us guessing. This time he's trying to leave double 18. He knows best, and he takes the lead. He is 2 darts away
Jeff requires 86.
from a Super Series final. He's 1 dart away. He doesn't need any more darts. Jeff Smith makes the Series 11 final. Is Usher losing his cool a little bit here?
Oh, absolutely. Right now, I'd say the head's gone. And you don't have long to recover. It is very, very short format darts. Vansky's halfway to victory.
He only needs 1 more. Jimmy Vansky is yet again into a Modus Super Series final.
Flashback vibes. Can Jimmy Vansky do the same? Just needs the 1 treble here on the 19s. Finds it. For the ball.
101.
Oh, unlucky. A lot of pressure on it. He's going to split it. 2 darts for double 4 for the match.
Game. Shot. And the Modus Super Series 11 champion, Jeff Smith.
To proceedings here with the live lounge in Portsmouth Group B action at the Seniors Showdown. And before the break, Paul Hogan got the better of Trina Gulliver by 4 legs to 0. So far, so good for Simon Whitlock. He played 2 of the first 3. He won 2 of the first 3. 4-1 and 4-0 wins over Neil Duff and Paul Hogan respectively has put him through to Saturday night's final. Steve West of a victory in this one against Whitlock would join the Australian into the final 6, and it then leave Neil Duff and Paul Hogan to duke it out for the final position through to Saturday's showpiece. And so the top 2 go head to head in the next game. That's followed by the players in positions 3 and 4, and Steve West will win against Simon Whitlock would make it through, because Neil Duff and Paul Hogan, by going head-to-head in the next one, means that both cannot make it through to make it on to 10 points to make it through to Saturday's final. So that's the tail of the tape. As we go into this, our 6th game of the evening, the first match from the second half worth of fixtures. Simon Whitlock safely through. Steve West could well join him in a few moments.
Yes, everybody, live on Pluto TV right now, the Waterlooville Derby. And as to who's going to win this one, I haven't a clue. There's a bit of a niche joke for very close to Portsmouth, because there are towns very close to Portsmouth called Waterlooville and Havant.
Famous football team who once went to Anfield and took the lead twice against Liverpool.
You shouldn't have said anything. It's like poking a wolf. A factoid wolf.
But as ABBA famously said once, my, in Waterlooville, but who is going to surrender?
That's it, I'm tapping out.
60.
The last 4 years have been a pleasure.
You could even say this used to be the aggressive points derby. I think there's only one person who's using the aggressive points in this one, and that is Mr. Whitlock.
Although it is rather smoothened down
96.
for the days of Alan Keyes.
He wasn't the only person to use the Alan Key points. Max Hopp used them when he won his Sole Players Championship in Dublin a few years ago. That was when Max was playing his best darts.
46.
Well, Steve seems to have lost his rhythm a little bit. Maybe when he's playing Neil, he's more comfortable with the pace. Against Whitlock, there's a few more extra seconds to think.
100.
Whitlock did play really well against him last night. Averaged nearly 99. It was the best performance of the night.
96.
Simon 4-2 victory.
44.
Decides to neglect the 60 on this occasion. Makes sense to me.
132. Supercar 70.
And so now, this is must hit if West is going to get the break in the opener. Double 16 on the inside.
54.
Whitlock back
Supercar
for
12.
double 6. And the exasperation on Paul Nicholson's face sat next to is the fact that he elected for 16s.
Getting shot on the first
Whitlock
leg,
takes the
Simon
lead,
Whitlock.
and it feels as if Steve West and Tops are having a trial separation.
Second leg, Steve to throw first. Game on.
We'll see if that continues a little bit later. Double 16 doesn't suit him. Upright angle of attack.
57.
If he misses it left, he covers the whole bed. That's why he leaves Tops a lot. But he's recognised, as have we, that it is not being found tonight.
140.
In fact, off the top of my head, I think he's only hit it once.
And it does seem that in this sport you can teach a
58.
slightly older dog new tricks, because remember when Mervyn King spent an eternity of a career leaving double 16 and nothing else? Well, over the last year or so, he's converted into a bit of a tops man.
96. $45. 57.
I think Steve has recognised that this game is not going to plan. There has to be a different plan. This is a very short course game.
43.
Games of darts over best of 7 have been in and gone in less than 6 minutes in the past. So if you recognise
58.
after about 4.5 minutes of this one, which is only 1.5 legs, by the way, that things aren't going well, something has to change. Usually it's something in between
60.
the ears first.
Time to car 150.
You have to recognise, then you have to action, and then execute.
Ah, he went for the 3 bullseyes. Perhaps appropriate if you sat next to me here in the commentary box, because I think you lost your voice for about 6 weeks when he did that in Zvala.
And there's a natural 180 from West, but he believes he's about to go 2-0 down. I think Whitlock is impressed by that one. Double 6 again. He's liking this side of the board.
12.
Turns out that 180 wasn't just for sure.
It's amazing how easy the game can be when you play with freedom, but now the pressure is applied. He fires the tops, and he's rekindled his flame for the top of the board.
Simon through first. Game on.
Didn't need to go shopping around because he's found top of the shops.
60.
The aura has changed.
140.
I wonder if Whitlock knows that he's already through.
He is the type of player that
96.
you'll know you've played in World Cups alongside him. He seems like the type of player that when the intensity is at its utmost
60.
can deal with it. But when he's in a situation in a round robin like this where he knows he's through, I just not quite sure if he can play with the same pep or vigour when for him there's nothing really on the
59.
line.
Simon's pretty hard to describe, actually, because you could have 3 dart players around him who are going hell for leather,
140.
and he's the one who's keeping his cool. The Belgium game is the exact evidence of that. It wasn't the only evidence of
100. Supercar 161.
that. He does keep his cool. That's why he was such a great pairs partner.
90.
He has this ability of extracting something from you as a player that you didn't know you had. Whether it's passion,
60.
patience,
Supercar 71.
or poise, it's the lot. All wrapped up in a nice little bundle.
51.
Oh my word.
Simon car 126.
Well, Whitlock did have 126 left with 2 darts in a previous leg. Now he's got it with 3.
58.
Not to be. And look
Supercar
what's in
20.
action again. Our camera may as well just leave a camera pointed at double 10 all night.
Game shot on the
Because I
third
think
leg,
that's
Steve
seen more
West.
action. The treble 20 at points. And West finds it again. He's 2-1 up.
Steve to throw first. Game on.
If he'd missed that 3rd dart at double 10, he would have asked for a review.
100.
What, TV referee to director? Is that what Paul Hinks would have to say?
We don't need that. We've got wires on the board. We don't need Hawkeye.
140.
We don't need another referee. We've got Paul Hinks.
41.
Well, that's what happens when you've got very rigid flights. You can get reactions like that. Simon's not even using his own flights tonight. He's using Reese Robinson flights. I'd like to know where he actually got them.
100.
It's not like he's calling Reese up and saying, you got some spare flights? I don't have any.
It genuinely would not surprise me because Reece Robinson is one of those players that when he plays here, he does tend to go up to a local competition at a dart club in Waterlooville. mean, Simon goes to every week, Steve goes to every week. It wouldn't surprise me that Reese has played there, given Simon those flights, had a little bit of a play with that, with his current setup, and actually realises they work for him and he stays with it.
100. Summon account 81.
Double 12.
Game shot on the fourth.
That
leg,
is an
Simon
11
Whitlock.
dart break. And another
Reflex
world-class
Simon
leg
is first. Game
from
on.
the table leader. You know, I think Steve West could have been a great chef. Because if you look at the way he plays darts, he demands
79.
a lot of perfection. If he gets a first dart that is perfect like that, it's got to be a max, or he's not happy.
180.
Case in point. But if he got 140 or ton there, he would have been livid. And that's what
59.
great craftsmen demand from themselves. When they've got a good foundation, a good base of something, they want perfection.
$60.
This should be a max as well. It's not going to be.
81.
Final fixture for West will be Hogan. He could be the one that knocks Hogan out.
91.
Whitlock's last game is against Trina. That is coming up in about 30 minutes tops.
See the car 170.
Maybe even a lot sooner.
Well, the 170 isn't going to get netted, and so Whitlock will come back
105.
looking at 148 to go 3-2 to the good. Can't be done now.
I'm starting to question what's tidier, the treble 20 or Simon's beard.
140. See the car 65.
That treble 20 is on the verge of saying I quit. Double 4.
57.
So close. He can't stop Whitlock having a shot at double 4 himself now.
Game shot on the fifth leg.
3-2 Whitlock. Double 4's found. Steve West, if he's going to qualify here, needs to win 2 in a row.
Steve to throw first. Game on.
Still on throw. It's not out of the question.
96.
Well, that treble 20 looks like a fourth day wicket at the MCG.
97.
Yes, it does actually. But you know what you can do with a fourth day wicket? You can get it to turn.
45.
And West needs to turn this around. Great leg spinners like Shane Warne and Mushtaq Ahmed. I'll spin another one right there, Simon. He's been maxing brilliantly tonight. That is now 6.
83.
I make that 15 for the group. That's really impressive.
No max for Whitlock there.
140.
I wasn't going to ask that question. Who's the more storied person, Max or Simon Whitlock?
125.
Two very different disciplines. I can't imagine Simon doing gymnastics, and I can't imagine Max doing darts.
Tops of the match.
44.
Just above the wire. Steve West needs something out of the ordinary here. But it was all about the first star, because that looks good for a second, and that leaves double 16, and that is found. And just like that, Simon Whitlock, for being in a position to win in this game, is taken all the way because of the brilliance of Steve West. A 152 skin saver to take us all the way.
Even if he goes on to lose that game, what a shot that is.
140.
That is an extraordinary shot.
And incredibly, it's only the second tub plus checkout that we've seen this evening.
68.
I've seen Simon Whitlock hit shots like that in the biggest tournaments in the world. In a quarterfinal against James Wade in 2010. European Championship against Jamie Caven. All sorts of stuff. Alan Norris at the Grand Prix. But now he's just had a shot like that hit against him. But does it mean anything?
Well, Simon Whitlock can shrug it off because of the position that he's in. But that is an incredible 140 when you consider how obscure that bed was.
Well, look at what he's done since the 152. He's left 124 after 9. With 2 140s and a 97.
100.
That ability to
Simon
withstand the big
24.
shot and just move on. That's the calmness I was talking about.
84.
What a last start. To leave himself tops to get over the line. And this time, West can do nothing about it.
28. Simon Carr 40.
And this time, it feels rather academic that Simon Whitlock's going to win this contest. What a guide. What a contest. And for Simon Whitlock, he was hit by the 152 in the leg previous, but there was no denying him in that one. And he now moves to a position where he could potentially complete the card for the night when he takes on Trina Gulliver in a couple of games' time. Next up, though, a huge contest between Paul Hogan and Neil Duff.
$54. Charlie McGuire, 164. $44. $32. Charlie required 120.
Well, 120. He's got a fair, at least 2 handfuls of this. Just needs to stay
60.
there. That's a good shot. Halves his score. Leaves himself on a 2-darter.
$26. Charlie
Time on his
required
side
60.
to become back-to-back singles champion.
$40.
Definitely a couple of nerves in those last 2 darts. But he'll be coming back.
The moment he's been in before this situation. Standing at the back of the stage,
Charlie
approaching the
required
Yoki with a
20.
chance to win the title.
He did this to win the first title, if you remember.
11.
I think he's gone.
Georgia
I think
McGuire,
he's gone to
118.
bust it, maybe. The first title he won, he wanted 20. He went 6-7-7 to win it. He had a chance to replicate it again.
Yeah, I get the feeling that was for a bust. And
39.
on that situation there, George Scaife wasn't even able to take it out going to the 18s on that switch.
Yeah, I think he just panicked a bit, but he's done well to get that big one.
Sometimes can be the hardest part.
Georgia requires
This is it.
79.
It's got to be 19s. It's got to be 19s for this shot. Big 20 and a double. He's got the first one. He's going to get a match dart here.
$59. Charlie
Threw the entire
required
body into that
8.
one. Just didn't want to let go of the dart.
No score.
He's given George a chance.
Georgia require 20.
I think George has been quite good on double 10 today.
So many opportunities for Charlie Murphy.
Got
Couldn't
it,
get the
gets
job
it.
done.
Got it, the match! And the Red Dragon
George
Modus
Scaife.
Super Series Influencers Champion, George Skye!
Absolute stunning. Listen to that crowd.
Laura Turner's doing things like this, like
Game
taking
shot
out the
third leg,
113.
Laura Turner.
Go.
Brian O'Sullivan!
2 at double 16.
Game shot in the third leg.
So tops for the 120.
Game
Tops
shot
is
on the
round.
second leg.
It's a very fine player. Double 9.
Yeah, for the manner in which he did it,
Game
but
shot on
didn't
the
seem
first
to affect
leg.
Vicky Pruitt.
That was the only opportunity
And the
she
Modus.
needed.
Well, absolutely sensational stuff.
Narrowly finds the 10 and pings the tops.
So next week is the second of our specials weeks to kick off 2026 at the Live Lounge. Women's Week 5 gets underway on Monday morning. Gemma Hayter is the defending champion when she picked up the trophy on the 27th of June 2025. And come the end of play on the 17th of January 2026, she'll be hoping to be a two-time champ. So that's the lineup, and we're going to be live for 9:30 on Monday morning here on the Pluto TV network of channels. Now, just a reminder, if you are watching on your smart TV and device and you do want to take the Super Series on the go at any point, the best way to do so is by downloading the Pluto TV app. It's available via your app store, whether it be on Apple or via Google Play, and you could take us on the move 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you're on a laptop, you can tune into Pluto.tv and you can watch us wherever you are in the world. Game number 7 sees Hogan and Duff go head-to-head, and this is a big head-to-head because both players are on 6 points, 0 legs difference. The winner will catapult themselves onto 8 points and leave the other needing to win their last game and hope that things go their way.
66.
Hogan does have a win tonight.
100.
He got that over Trina Gulliver by 4 legs to 0. Duff has got Trina to come.
59.
This is a really interesting dynamic now, isn't it? This is probably the biggest game of the group
60.
so far.
It's not a knockout game because they've got one more to go, but it has the feeling of a knockout.
55.
Even if Hogan wins, he might still have to beat Steve West. And even if Duff wins, he's going to have to beat Trina.
180.
But the effect of this game will not be felt until the end of the night.
100. Polukar 102.
So 102 for Hogan and 6 from here to open up a 1-0 lead.
Okay, didn't expect him to do that.
50.
Expect the unexpected, obviously.
$85.
Oh boy,
Polukar,
that is a bad
52.
dart from Neil. Double 16 for Hoagie.
Getting shot on the first leg.
He's starting to hit doubles. Against Trina, he was 4 from 8.
Game on.
And he starts very well here. He's getting on a bit of a roll.
Right, so Neil, it has not happened for him today.
I don't think many people thought
100.
that Duff would not be part of Saturday night. it is a possibility. We were talking at the top of the show about how his odds seemed a bit
100.
skewed for winning the group. He's not going to win the group because Simon Whitlock's going to do that.
Well, Neil Duff's Friday
140.
began with a trip to Toby, but he may well be carved up by the opposition come the end of play this evening.
What's your
45.
beef, Henry?
However, tonight, in terms of the doubling, Paul Hogan
100.
has been different gravy.
This is better.
180.
Oh, my word.
Polgar 161.
That was an imposing 180. Hogan was not audacious enough in taking out the 161 to make Neil feel even
26.
worse than he already does.
Neil the car 36.
This will cure what ails you.
Getting shot at
13
second leg,
data and an
Duff.
equaliser.
Third
You
leg,
could
Paul
say
through
that
first.
we've
Game
reached
on.
an equilibrionic point.
Will you get that word and just burn it? It's not a word.
100.
And by the way, in case you're wondering, that argument from this afternoon did continue into a Turkish restaurant between sessions.
21.
We were explaining to Henry that that is not a word. And he doesn't believe us.
Yes, we have great conversations over the dinner table here at the Super Series.
83.
Conversations like, who's the favourite for tonight's action? Who could possibly
81.
get into Saturday again? Because they've all been there before. Who would be the biggest story
100.
by winning on Saturday? I think it would be Whitlock.
Agreed.
Because he's not won on a Saturday here yet.
And I just think when you consider what he's done recently, the ANZ Premier League
95.
win, when he's done at the World Championship, and the fact that this year he's plotting a different path in comparison to what he's done in recent times. He's entering a different stage of his career now.
100.
I feel harsh saying the word twilight, but it is towards the twilight. He's doing
Oh, it is. It is.
And he could kick off that twilight stage with
100.
a
Polgar
year-starting
118.
victory. Hogan 118, 6 from here.
78.
Neil Duff looks... Am I being fair to say that there's times where he just looks a little bit lost?
He's not throwing poorly.
100.
He's
Polgar
walking away with
40.
tons instead of 140s.
Getting shot on the third leg, Paul
And people are
Hogan.
turning up against him. Let's face
Paul Hogan
facts.
nailed it through first.
When
Game on.
Steve West beat him, Duff averaged 97.43. That's not playing bad darts.
100.
We said that he needed to find more output after averaging 75 against Whitlock in game 1.
66.
He lifted it by 22 points. And he still lost.
100.
And I suppose it's that old phase of how many times can you get hit and then you keep coming back up off the canvas.
Depends on the chin.
100.
Quite frankly, I wouldn't want to know how hard Neil Duff's chin is. I'd rather use diplomacy with him.
85.
Well, I'm sure inside he will be boiling up more than feeling lukewarm.
105.
He's definitely flown the flag for Northern Ireland really well. And that will be done by Josh Rock in the Premier League, of course, in the next
100.
few weeks.
And of course, Neil Duff changed his walk-on because Josh Rock wanted to use what Neil Duff had. Both big Rangers fans, and the walk-on that Josh Rock uses
100. Neil
is
the car
a Rangers track, which means that when he's in Glasgow, he's going to have to change his walk-on for a week. Double top for the 116,
96.
just low.
Paul the car 130.
I didn't know that was a Rangers track. What's this? It is not a treble 20.
58. Near the car, 20.
This is not a nice angle. But if anybody can see it, it would be Neil. See? Because he's all the way over to the left-hand side. I know exactly what Josh is going to use in Glasgow, by the way. It's going to be the training montage from Rocky 4. Or indeed Burning Heart by Survivor.
Yeah, Mensah Suljovic, famously, when he was in the Premier League, he walks on to Tina Turner's Simply the Best, which again is a Glasgow Rangers football track. And when the Premier League was in Glasgow, was told to change his walk on for fairly obvious reasons.
Simon Whitlock played in the Premier League in Glasgow and was not allowed to wear his own dart shirt because it's green.
100.
Yeah, he played in a more of a maroon colour, didn't he?
I actually don't remember.
100.
Remember that. Is Duff making his move at just the right time? Because if he beats Hogan, I think he's going to qualify because I think he beats Trina.
100.
And if Hogan does lose this game and Duff beats Trina, it doesn't
100.
matter what Hogan does against West.
And look what Neil Duff has left again. 1-2-1, a finish which
60.
typified and defined his night on
121.
Thursday. And it may well be the finish which really lights the spark on Friday. Went 25 first, effectively saying to Paul Hogan he
81.
doesn't fancy his chances on the 160.
Some people go bullseye first on 1-2-1, come what may. Stephen Bunting does that. That's a nice marker. He can't get it over the top.
128.
This
near the car,
is critical.
40.
That
flag, near
is
Duff.
brilliant. 13 dart break,
Six flag, near
right
Duff
in the nick of
first.
time.
Game on.
And now we can serve it out to put Hogan on the back foot.
Second 13 darter of the contest. And I think this is what's the aching frustration for Neil Duff, because the good stuff this evening has been really good. It just hasn't been as consistent as perhaps we've come to expect from him.
But it can still be good enough to get to Saturday,
100.
where he is arguably at his most dangerous. But he hasn't won on a Saturday for a while. And for him,
140.
it's a while. To some other people, it wouldn't be.
Yeah, ended a kind of 18-month drought in terms of weekly titles in the previous series. Got through
100.
to the Champions Week semi-finals, which was his best stab at a Super Series Champions Week.
100.
Which is the one thing that he's yet to tick off the list here at the Live Lounge in
He's never
Portsmouth.
played at international pairs, has he?
He played once with Richard McKee in the first edition.
140.
I stand corrected.
Lost to Tom Sykes 4-2 in the semi-final of Champions Week 12.
140. Polakar 160.
Well, look at that. He's on tops after 12 again. Last time Hogan was on 160. Now it's 161. This has been a proper game of darts from Neil.
43.
He's put his foot on the throttle when he's needed to most. Showing all the qualities of a world champion. And that is a third 13 darter of the contest. A 4-2 win for Neil Duff. Puts him in a very good position. Puts the ball in his court in terms of making it through to tomorrow night. That was a really good contest. You can see it with the numbers there. Duff averaging 96.5, 4 from 6 in terms of his finishing. And so now we see Simon Whitlock looking to complete the card for the night. And he'll do so if he beats Trina. So we've got 3 more games to go on this Friday night. We've had a really good night's worth of darts here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth, and I hope you've been enjoying our coverage here on Pluto TV. Before the break, Neil Duff got the better of Paul Hogan by 4 legs to 2. Averaging 96.49, 2 180s from 6 on his doubles. So game number 8, Simon Whitlock and Trina Gulliver going head-to-head. This is a meeting between the player at the top of the table and the player at the bottom of the table. Now, for Simon Whitlock, if he wins this game, then he will complete the card on this Friday night. And it would mean that he would have gone through the entirety of this group, having dropped just a single match.
60.
I think Trina just wants to get a victory against anyone, but in order to do that,
60.
She's going to need to beat the table topper or the man who has just put in that 96.5 average against Paul Hogan.
60.
Whatever Simon's got left tonight, he can throw it into this game and bid the rest of the players adieu, saying, I've done my job.
140.
Nobody else is through yet.
And he can think of the very long journey from Portsmouth to Waterloo that he's going to make.
60.
All 20 minutes of it.
It's better than 20 hours home on a plane from Australia.
Granted.
140.
You have to do that journey to understand just how long it feels. It feels like more than 20 to 26 hours.
I suppose particularly
41.
with the stop-off as well.
Junior car 80.
These days, you can actually go from Perth to London in one flight.
Yes, you
19 hours straight.
Costs a bit of money, mind. As Gulliver looks at tops, but the target is obscured.
40.
Over the top it goes. Whitlock nowhere to be seen in this opening leg. Yeah, actually, if it's about $2,000 economy to fly direct on a Qantas flight from Perth to Heathrow.
96. Junior car 40.
I didn't know that.
Oh, you know, because I've been shopping.
Gulliver is shopping for 5s.
35.
And they didn't have any left.
No shopping for Gulliver. Max for Whitlock. Max!
180. Junior car 5.
Okay, that's one way to leave 4. That's another. My word, that was close.
No score.
And that was
Junior
not.
car 4.
Double 1.
Getting shown the
And
first
that is a
leg,
break
Simon
of
Whitlock.
throw and 184 taken in 5 darts,
Second leg,
rather
Simon to throw first. Game on.
strangely.
And I think that one's going to hurt Trina. You could see it in the background. That was a real opportunity to take the initiative in this contest, and it's come to pass.
Can I tell you a bit of a tale?
100.
Please do.
Doesn't take that long. When I lived in Hampton Park, just outside of Dandenong in Victoria in Australia, I used to play Super League on Thursday nights at the MDDA.
9.
They've had some great tournaments there over the years, including the Dandenong Open and some DPA events. Well, I'd been there for about a year, and I was
100.
promoted to the Premier side of the the Super League on the left-hand side of the venue, and I was told that that night I was playing a couple of games. One was against my old pal Tommy
140.
Hyland, and the other one was against a lady called Carol Forward. You might recognise the name Carol Forward. She's one of the best Australian lady players of the
59.
last 20, 30 years. And I then got the shock of my life, because coming from Northumberland and Tyne Wear and the northeast of England, everything was segregated.
81.
It was men and the boys against each other. The ladies had their own stuff. Going to Australia, it was mixed.
94.
You could play against the girls and the ladies. First competitive game I ever played against a lady was Carol Forward in Super League in 2006.
57.
I'll never forget
Samuel
that,
Carr 148.
because that said to me that Australia was a bit more progressive than the UK for darts.
140.
Well, Whitlock leads double 4 to go 2 up. Gulliver, a really gallant 140 there. But is it going to be something of academia? Because that's inviting.
4. Trina car 74.
You're right about that 140 from Trina. It was a belter. How many times did she miss singles tonight? Or nearly missed singles? It was online.
27. Samuel Carr 4.
But now leg 2 could be offline. Oof. I thought that was a 15 for a second.
No score.
That is most
Trina
definitely
Carr
not double
47.
1.
And I think what would be annoying for Trina is this could have been an opportunity for 2-0. For equity in this game.
37.
Two
Samuel
more
Carr
darts
4.
have come and gone, and you can see the frustrations just beginning to build for the Golden Girl. Oh, awkward. He thought it was in, it's not. And now he skittles across to his left.
2.
But unable to find.
Trina Carr 10.
And so, Gulliver looking at 2 5s to bring this game
Getting shot
on
on the
to
second leg,
terms. And
Gulliver.
on terms we are. Levels, you devils. Gulliver
Whitlock
1,
to throw
Whitlock
first.
1.
Game on.
This is not the way I thought this fixture would go.
135.
It's amazing what happens when the adrenaline leaves your body. But maybe the equaliser from Gulliver has rejuvenated the adrenaline for the Australian captain of former years.
And sometimes you do need that something, don't you? That something to get you going. And Trina Gulliver's beginning to get going here.
We were hoping for another one.
55.
Of all the 9 darters that we've had, what's the latest one chronologically?
Conor Heenahan against Alan Norris.
60.
That was about midnight, 12:30.
Adam Mould was the last one of an afternoon session, as was Sebastian Białowski.
60.
Steve West against Luke Littler.
Yeah, that one springs to mind. That 7 doesn't help. 60 might.
46.
Well, this is better from Trina compared to what we've seen from her over the last 6 games she's played.
$98. Trina 80.
So 80 for Gulliver to go 2-1 to the good. 2 10s. Double 5.
75.
Just on the inside. She's given herself chances but unable to execute.
That's about as annoyed as she can get. Whitlock is not getting to the double here.
76. Trina 5.
This single number can't be missed. Oh, it's right in the middle. Double 1 again.
No score. Samuel
Well,
Carr,
well, well.
32.
Whitlock is not just a good player, he's also a bit fortunate. Good luck with that one.
Getting shot on the third leg, Samuel.
What a dart that is.
That's a leg swinger.
Fourth leg, Simon to throw first.
That was sort of stump.
That's exactly what that was. That was going through the air and around the legs. Incredible dart, that one.
59.
That was like a Graham Swan leg spin at its finest. I don't know why Graham Swan was the first example that sprung to mind.
40.
He was some bowler, mind.
Great nickname as well, Swanee.
Do you remember the hose pipe he used to do? The hose pipe celebration in Australia.
Oh, that was the sprinkler head. Yeah. Don't do it, Henry. You're making yourself look like a fool.
41.
Big fan of cricketers, Simon.
97.
He was very adamant that we were going to talk about the Ashes last night when we spoke to him.
Yes.
Safe to say that it didn't come up any further.
So I look forward to interviewing him in the summer of 2027.
40.
Spoken like a true cricket fan.
And actually, the Ashes is coming to Hampshire in 2027 because the Utilita Bowl
88.
in Hedge End, which is a 15-minute drive from the Super Series venue, will be hosting one of the tests in the 2027 Ashes.
41.
Incredible venue.
Samuel Carr, 126.
Incredible hotel at the venue as well. 136 for Whitlock.
$42.
I am very surprised by this game. It is not what I was expecting at all.
59.
This is the first time that Whitlock has played over the last couple of days and has looked a little jaded.
78.
If you are going to miss that shot, you might as well miss it on the outside. Come back for double 8 instead of double 4. There's a lot on the line in the next game. Paul Hogan is going to have to be perfect against Steve West. If he wants to get through to Saturday, he has to win 4-0. Meaning one leg for West will make him safe. And one more leg for Whitlock. And he will have a clean sheet for Friday night into Saturday morning.
Game on.
Which is rather ironic because it was a phrase that Trina Gulliver coined.
That's why I said it.
140.
Well, Simon Whitlock's not really got into a rhythm in this contest.
95.
But it's just been good enough. Getting it right when he has to.
30.
And I'm sure he'll be hungry for Saturday night success. Picking up his first weekly title of any sort.
And I'm sure he'll have people here supporting him.
100.
One of them will not be his son Mason, because he's at Q School.
It's in Calca. I'll tell you what, if Steve West and Simon Whitlock get through, it will be a packed house because
82.
both being local to the venue and both have a lot of friends in and around this area, it could be a bit lively tomorrow.
The Lively Lounge.
140.
Yes. The Lively Lounge in Pompey.
What number do you think is going through the mind of Simon right now? 1, 3, 4. That's how dart players think. What number do I want? He doesn't get it. On the bright side, he could bank one more bullseye before running the card.
44. Simon Whitlock 82.
82 for the match. It's going to be a dart, a double top to win it 4-1. Trina Gulliver had opportunities at the beginning of the contest but was unable to take them. And Simon Whitlock just did what Simon Whitlock has spent a couple of decades doing. Taking advantage of chances when they present themselves. A 4-1 win. Coming up next, Steve West and Paul Hogan. Are you ready to lift that trophy, Darius?
Yes.
Let's do it then.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series 9 champion is Lucky D, Darius Labanowski!
Well, what a wonderful night of darts we have seen, and we are ready. Our champion is ready, and it's trophy. So receive the trophy. £25,000. The new Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And one more time, the 8th Modus Super Series champion, the Terminator, Marvin Van Velzen. And the new Modus Super Series champion is Andreas Dirty Harrison. And one more time, the 7th Modus Super Series champion. Give it up for Andreas Dirty Harrison.
The moment we've all been waiting for. Would you please show your appreciation for your Series 6 Modus Super Series champion, Scott Taylor?
One more time, your new Modus Super Series champion. He is Chucky. He is Jim McEwen.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Modus Super Series champion, retaining his title, the Nuke, Luke Whitlock!
Two more games to go, and we are into Friday night's action here at the Life Lounge in Portsmouth. And it is Steve West and Paul Hogan that are going head to head. And the permutations are simple as this. Steve West, with a solitary leg from this match, will qualify through to tomorrow night's final. He will join his fellow Waterlooville resident, Simon Whitlock, through. In fact, there's a possibility if both players are to make it through, which can happen but very unlikely, then we may well have a very, very eclectic local mix.
$57.
These guys are pretty astute. I'm sure with the information that's at hand, they will know what they need to do. Hogan's got two ways of getting through.
140.
They're both extremely difficult. One's in his hands, one is not. If he wins 4-0, he goes through. Job done. But if he loses this game, it's bye-bye.
100.
If he wins the game, but not by 4 next to 0, then it's on the last fixture between Duff and Gulliver. Well, whatever Steve said there, it's really tickled Paul Hogan. I've never seen him laugh that much on the hockey. He's finished. Look at that. He needs a timeout. He's still going. Who said the darts is no laughing matter? Well, I want to know what that was. He's broken. He's broken Crocodile Dundee.
Well, he's broken Crocodile Dundee by presumably breaking wind.
Paul McCarr, 161.
Well, at least that is what Paul Hogan was intonating there anyway.
59.
We go from the funny business to the serious business. This is for Saturday. And it just had to be tops. Ah, it's there again. It was evading him earlier, but it's come back at the right time, and Steve West is back in Saturday.
And so it's not going to be squeaky bum time for Steve West in terms of qualifying through to tomorrow night's final.
60.
That's a good result, because if you know you only need one leg, it's always better to get it early. The last thing you need is to go 1-0 down, 2-0 down, 3-0 down, then all of a sudden you need to win the fourth leg.
85.
Now the route for Hogan to make Saturday is for Gulliver to beat Duff.
100.
But Hogan's got to win the game first. And even then, it's got to be a certain scoreline, hasn't it?
95.
Safe to say the walls have closed in. And it might just be the top 3 after day 1 that progressed through after day 2.
140. $100. $100. Pollock 61.
Well, Steve West is saving what he needs to be his best for when it matters. He's got the leg that he needs. Hogan isn't going to respond right away.
97. Supercar 80.
So 80 for Steve to go 2-0 up. And to make this task even more difficult for Paul Hogan. 2 tens, 14 darter, and that is 2 legs won in the space of 29 darts. Steve West really is a man on a mission.
$43.
That dream of back-to-back special weeks in just 2 or 3 weeks is very much alive.
100.
Richard Rowlands going to take some stopping. He was the man on 18 points after Wednesday. Johnny Haynes, 4 wins from 5 over the last 3 days. And a plucky display from Michael Huntley, showing that there is life
100.
in the more senior dog yet.
Well, they do say darts is a young person's game in 2026. Well, a lot of the players this week are showing
54.
that maybe that is not necessarily 100% sacrosanct.
$60.
Wonder what the year ahead looks like for Hoagie. Maybe a bit of ADC stuff at Bradmore Farm and maybe a
60.
little bit of travelling on the WDF circuit.
I think he does what he wants. I think he'll stay local. I think it's important that he stays active.
100.
Still very well liked by people in this area and nationally. Also known internationally, but he's never really been one to
58.
travel internationally.
Pollock 141.
You say he does what he wants. That's what he's done throughout the course of his career. If he wants to play and say he'll play, and if he doesn't want to, he ain't going to bother. Simple as that. And you got to admire that. Somebody that isn't shackled by the
55.
demands of tour life.
Supercar
If he wants to do something, he
146.
does. He loves work. He often comes off the back of a working day. And it is just the thing that makes him tick, playing darts at the highest
86.
level when he wants to do so.
Pollock 86.
Bullseye for Hogan.
48.
This could be
Supercar
very close to
60.
curtains. Nothing
Gates
but
on the
net
third
for
leg,
West.
Fourth leg, Paul, the third first. Game on.
I think Hogan's saying, are you going to leave anything for me? 3 out of 3 on the doubles for West. And Hogan's had 1 dart at a double. And it was that 1 shot at the bullseye.
100.
Leaving with a bit of a statement.
Yeah, but the statement is not stapled yet.
100.
You never know if Steve is in that mindset of ignorance. He might think he might have to win this game.
41.
And in a sense, that's a strong thing. Because he will not be thinking, right now, I'm through, I've done all I need to do, and just need to finish
100.
the game off. Sometimes in your own mind, you've got to think that you need more than you actually have. In other sports, you don't
45.
have the luxury of knowing exactly what's going on. Think about what it's like at Augusta in spring. If you're 6, 7 holes ahead,
60.
you don't know what you've got to do. You've got to try and birdie every hole or get the odd eagle. And if you don't, that 1 shot
could cost you a green jacket.
133.
Well, Hogan was praying for a chance.
71.
Well, this is as good a chance as he's going to get. He's left himself with a big fish.
That's amazing. That is one of the most fortunate ways of leaving a 170 I've ever seen.
See if you can. 170.
Can he reel it in? Can you, Stephen? Can you, Stephen? Yes, he can! What a way to finish the group! Paul Hogan was hit by everything there from Steve West. He's into Saturday night and he's finished with a bit of a fanfare. And as soon as that second treble went in, you just expected the bullseye to be popped. Good performance that. A perfect display in terms of his finishing. 4 from 4. It finished with a big fish. An average under 94. Coming up after the break, Neil Duff takes on Trina Gulliver. Steve West, courtesy of a 4-0 victory over Paul Hogan, has sent himself and Neil Duff through to tomorrow night's final here at the Seniors Showdown. He finished the job off with a 170 checkout, some way to sign off for his campaign. So let's get into our final game of the night, and it is a meeting between Neil Duff and Trina Gulliver. As far as this pair is concerned, Neil will be safe in the Saturday night sanctuary for Trina. I get the sense that tonight will be a night where she'll be ruining missed opportunities in terms of her W, particularly in that game against Simon Whitlock last time out. 1 from 13 on the outer ring. It was just a campaign, if we're going to be honest, they just never quite got going for the Golden Girl.
Yeah, that's fair. Even when she got off to decent starting games, her opponents were able to peg her back. And one thing's for sure as well, with that 4-0 victory, West has made sure that he's got second position in the table.
First
Which
leg,
means
Neil,
on
to
Saturday
throw
night,
first.
he's not going to be in the same group as Duff or Whitlock.
Game on.
So Duff to get us underway. This was the first game of the group yesterday evening. A game which Duff won by 4 legs to 2. But it was a match that Trina did have 1-0 and 2-1 leads in before Duff reeled off 3 in a row to complete a 4-3 victory.
100.
It's a funny old game, isn't it? And a funny old format.
100.
Because when Neil was playing against Steve West in Game 4, he wanted to beat him up. But then it turns out it's Steve that takes him through.
140.
No such thing as friends and enemies in round-robin play. You just have to take it one game at a time.
121.
I get the feeling that Neil would like to send a bit of a statement out to the rest of the Saturday night field. Maybe in the same sort of way that Steve West has just done
45.
with that 170
Near the
finish.
car, 140.
Just put everybody on notice when it comes to tomorrow night's final. Duff's not going to take out the 140. He has got 6 starts to do exactly that.
60. $45. Near the car, 80.
He's not going to move.
Gain
Didn't
shot of
need
first
to.
leg, Neil Duff.
That's a great first leg.
Second leg, Trina to throw first. Game on.
15 darts is good enough to hold. 15 darts might be good enough to win every leg in this contest.
I say with a lot of contests here at the Live Lounge, because if you do that, it's 100.2
45.
average.
I wonder if that's the most popular winning leg since 2022.
I'm sure that there's somebody
100.
out there that'll have the answer to that. There has to be. You know how good our statistical boffins are in this sport.
Would you hazard a guess saying that 15 is the most popular winning leg?
Well, if you go to the Chris Mason path for the course, then 15 should be. It's going to be one of 14, 15 or 16.
Really? You think that?
It's going to be something around that range, isn't it?
60.
Just by and large.
If you were going to put your name on a number and someone calculated every winning leg and they had the most legs won on a certain number, what do you
60.
think it would be?
Can I sound like a geek here?
You always do.
So my sense is when you look at the tour average over the
60.
season, it's give or take 93. So by that specific metric, I'm going to go 16 because the 16 dart leg equates to a 93.94 average.
I understand your methodology.
140.
My guess is 17.
17 going under.
17 darts.
81. Trina car, 116.
Wouldn't be surprised if I was wrong. Oh, that was an Olympian eye roll there from Trina. And it continues.
7.
And in case you're wondering, that's actually the type of eye roll that she does in the commentary box whenever I say something stupid. So she does that quite a lot.
100. Trina car, 109.
Might want to take this out. Duff could get a 17 darter. if Trina does not find 52 more. Tops.
89. Neil the car,
That
100.
has been the miss. Low of target. Where's Neil going? I'm surprised he went for tops.
60.
He had a marker on the
Car
60.
20.
Trina's better off going for this high. She's covering the bed with the flight if she goes low.
10. Neil the car, 40.
So tots for 2-0 for Neil Duff.
Game
And it
shot of the
goes,
second
2-0
leg,
it is.
Neil Duff.
Now, you are absolutely spot on with 15
Well,
being
Neil
the
the
most
throw
popular
first.
leg here. Now,
Game
I've
on.
been given a WhatsApp message here. 15 darts is the most popular number of darts needed to win a leg in the history of the
30.
Super Series. Since the very first dart here, before tonight, 16% of all legs are won in 15. That is 14,467
83.
legs that have been won in 15 darts.
So 15 darts is the most popular winning leg. I'm surprised by that, and pleasantly.
100.
Now, 17 and 18 darts are the next highest on the list. 18 darts actually the next most popular. 13,385 of them, equating to 14% of all legs here.
60.
21 9-darters and 125 10-darters.
95.
That's something that Neil doesn't have. A 9-darter. Steve West does. So in the argument of who's had the better Modus Super Series career,
60.
that's one for West and one not for Duff, but Duff's got stuff that West doesn't. That's got a bit of a ring to it. Duff's got the stuff.
60.
And Duff is made of tough stuff. And do you know what? It would be so fitting if it was West and Duff in the final, wouldn't it,
100.
tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think it would be rather fitting. Surely it can't be that easy to script it.
It's easy to script it, rather more difficult to execute it.
96.
And Neil's won both of his legs by hitting his first dart a double.
58. Neil the car, 120.
He's looking to leave tops again. What a dart. Double top again.
Game shot
He's
of
got
the
it on a
third leg,
string.
Gulliver.
It's like a puppet.
Fourth leg, Trina to throw
Second
first.
top plus
Game
checkout
on.
of the night, joining the 114, which he got against Steve West.
40.
Me thinks that Trina's a little bit annoyed. And do you blame her?
$140.
Well, the Duff man hasn't necessarily had his Duff man cape on tonight, but he's been able to do what he's needed to do to get through.
I wonder if he has ever, for a fancy dress party, dressed as the Duff man. There's a missed open goal if he hasn't.
Well, he has had a Duff man shirt. Do you remember the 2019 BDO World
140.
Masters?
Certainly do. Made the quarters, didn't he? It was a great show. I wonder if he's still got it. I'm laying the gauntlet.
44.
Next fancy dress party that he goes to, whether it's in Switzerland or elsewhere, Neil has to go as the Duff man. Beer, belt and everything.
However, it's also fair to say that as the years have gone on since that Lakeside success, the
100.
Duff man moniker has kind of lessened. He's just been known as Neil Duff, serial winner.
Oh, that's a shame.
Well, for Trina, it looks like it's going to be the end of the road for
82.
her here at
Neil
the
the car, 121.
Senior Showdown. Duff looking at 1-2-1. And what a way to sign off it would be. We saw Steve West hit a 170 to win his last game in the previous
105.
encounter. He's not going to do St. 7, but he's going to leave himself on a double after 12.
This could be back-to-back games where players go 4 from 4 on the doubles. If Duff hits double 8, he'll do
100.
just that.
Neil the car, 16.
Well, he saved his best performance for last. But now scamping around.
12. Trina car
It's
95.
given Gulliver an opportunity.
What does she fancy? Bullseye first or 57? Now it really should be 2 double 19s. The old school approach. Double 8.
87. Nearly car 4.
2 2s for 4 zip. And that is a 4-0 win for Neil Duff against Trina Gulliver. He's safely through, looking for title number 7. And there may well be a tungsten poetic justice that him and Steve West may meet in the final for it. For Trina Gulliver, it's the end of her campaign. We're going to see Neil Duff tomorrow night, but we're also going to see him on the other side of this short break because we're going to be having a chat with the former Lakeside champion of the world.
You will be disappointed with that. He wanted to have one dart.
requires 20.
Graham Usher wins the first game of Champions Night, and it was an absolute ripper. He hit one of them on tops. He missed one on double 12. Which one is it? It's the hit.
Outside opportunity for Andy Hamilton. Van der Velde should be getting a match start again here. He's already had one. Mr. Dart tops for the match to win 4-1. And the Dart at double 16 gets the job done there for Hogan van der Velde. He gets over the line with a 4-2.
Did he go for the tops, or did he just overshoot the single? Jimmy doesn't care. Jimmy just looks to eat this up to make the semi-finals for the second time. Adam Kaplas has been eliminated. Keep us guessing. This time he's trying to leave double 18. He knows best, and he takes the lead. He's 2 darts away
requires 86.
from a Super Series final. He's 1 dart away. He doesn't need any more darts. Jeff Smith makes the Series 11 final. Is Usher losing his cool a little bit here?
Oh, absolutely. Right now, I'd say the head's gone. And you don't have long to recover. It is very, very short form at darts. Vansky's halfway to victory.
He only needs 1 more. Jimmy Vansky is yet again into a Modus Super Series final.
Flashback vibes. Can Jimmy Vansky do the same? Just needs the 1 treble here on the 19s. Finds it. For the ball.
101.
Oh, unlucky. A lot of pressure on it. He's going to split it. 2 darts for double 4 for the match.
Game. Shot. And the Modus Super Series 11 champion, Jeff Smith.
Welcome back to the Modus Super Series, where Neil Duff has qualified his way through to tomorrow night's final here at the Live Lounge in Portsmouth, hitting that 120 en route to a 4-0 victory against Trina Gulliver. And it's a warm welcome to the studio once again.
Thanks,
to
man.
the former Lakeside champion. Job done? Happy enough?
Job done. I wouldn't say happy enough. I think still getting the terms of the new darts and stuff, but Yeah, I've had better weeks here, but I'm there. I'm on Saturday night, and you know that from past history, Saturday nights are just a different ball game altogether. So I'm there. I'm fighting.
Just tell us a little bit more about the equipment change. We saw you change a little bit during the double start just before Christmas. You've persevered with it. What specifically have you changed?
I kind of always change down here because you never know what the temperature's going to be like in the room, and so yeah, I started off double trouble with a set of Red Dragon darts which had made me in the office, but they're not coated or anything out there. So when I played with them this week, Monday, Tuesday, it was so cold, I wasn't getting any grip with them. So I went down and I bought a new set of darts, a pixel dart, a lot of grip, and yeah, I'm glad that I did it, because when you don't have the confidence of the grip, your whole game suffers, and that's what I was doing Monday and Tuesday. But yeah, it's getting there. It's coming.
You're nodding your head in the background there, Nico.
I just like the intelligence. I like the fact that when something needs to change, he knows exactly what to do, because some people don't know how to do that. You look at Terry Jenkins this week. He was going to use his smooth darts, his intermediate stems, and his small standard flights, come what may. But some players think outside the box. They think it's a bit cooler, it's a bit warmer. What do I need to do in these kind of atmospherics? I admire that, because that's not something I would do. So I can tip my hat to that.
Let's talk about the campaign overall. Last night, I can imagine the performances you put in, you were more than pleased with.
Well, I was up until the last match, and then Simon just gave me a lesson in darts. But yeah, I was playing better, playing a lot more freely. The doubles were there, finishing well, which I kind of picked up again at the tail end of today. But yeah, overall, I would have to say that Group B has been a better campaign than Group A. But then we go Saturday night, and we hope that goes better again, you know.
This is a typical Neil Duff week, isn't it? Ease your way in the first few days, and then when it gets to the business end, when the money's on offer, you find your best stuff.
If someone was to write a book on Modus Super Series, and there would be a paragraph just on that there alone, just because I'm predominantly, I ease in their week. I didn't play an awful lot over Christmas. I've changed manufacturers, but all will become clear in that one there in the next couple of weeks. So yeah, I'm tinkering, but like Paul says, if I know what the problem is, I can try and remedy it. I went out on Tuesday and I got new darts, I got new K-Flex, I went down and I bought my Under Armour tops to deal with the adverse conditions, you know, because it's south of England's cold this time of the year. Thankfully, I'm getting home on Sunday, and it's like -12 in Switzerland at the minute.
So this is like a summer holiday for you.
Yeah, so I'll have the Under Armour on going through the airport on Sunday. Yeah.
There's absolutely no surprise, Nico, that players like Neil are the ones that are the most successful, the ones that are the most astute, the ones that can problem solve, because you've got to in this format.
Not every player of this age, it's called the Senior Showdown for a reason, because it's a certain age bracket, but you don't categorise every player of this age bracket as wily, because I could list at least 5 players who are over the age of 50 who aren't. But when it comes to someone like Neil, he's played in the World Masters multiple times, he's played at Lakeside multiple times. You don't do what he's done without having know-how to get through difficult circumstances, and that's wily to me. And yes, the conditions this week haven't been ideal, because the storm coming in has brought a lot of cold weather, and sometimes it permeates this place. So you've got to figure it out.
Neil, we'll have another chat with you in just a second. Myself and Nico are going to assess what else has happened this evening. We'll talk about the other 2 players to make it through. Simon Whitlock topped the group. He completed the card for the night, and he got the job done rather easily. When he had to get the results, he got the results.
Yeah, I think he had one game tonight where he looked a bit unsure, and that was when he was already through. I think he was setting the benchmark at times. Neil's mentioned that last night he was playing some great stuff already past 1 o'clock in the morning, and he started with a vengeance tonight. He looked in great nick, and I think he's going to revel playing on Saturday night in front of a very local crowd.
We saw it at the World Championship against Connor Scott, and we've seen evidence of it here. Since that ANZ Premier League win, there's been a real jolt in the armour, Simon.
There is nothing like winning to help your confidence. You can play great darts, but if you don't win, there's a little bit something left off the bone. So even though he didn't win the first 7 weeks of the ANZ Premier League, by winning the finals and lifting the trophy, that's a feeling that is so much better than winning a weekly title and then not winning the whole thing. But the whole thing is on the line on Saturday night with people who have got confidence growing. It's great to see.
Right, let's have a chat about Neil's old sparring partner, Steve West, then, shall we? Because that was some parting shot, the 170.
Yeah, it was. It was a great, great performance. He needed to win a leg to get through. I don't know whether he knew that or not. But the fact that he was able to finish a group with a 170, that was quite special. But if you think that was a great performance, the best game of the night was between Neil and Steve. That was the kind of game that we sat back on our chairs thinking, yeah, we could watch 10 games of that easily.
Yeah, it wasn't that good. Being on the wrong end of it. But it shows you, which all the players that have been here this week are more than capable of. I mean, I lost that game with a 97 average. It doesn't even surprise me. But I smashed Steve up 4 days in a row there, so he was due one, you know. And especially last night, me and him and Simon were sitting in the back, and I was getting a lot of stick over the 101, which kind of negated the fact that I'd done the 2-1-2-1s. So, yeah, for me and Steve, there's always a lot of bragging rights involved. And he actually went in that game. It wasn't that he needed a leg; it was what he needed to do to stay ahead of me, because we were battling for. I could have caught him in second place, but hey ho, the two of us are on Saturday night, and yeah, it should be fun.
Well, I don't need to ask the question about the rivalry now, then, do I?
That's the thing. We're not enemies. We're rivals. No matter any time we walk up on that stage, we'll be best friends off the. Even when we're not here, we still speak regularly and stuff like that. There, you know. But once you go up there, you're rivals. But you walk off with a smile and a hug, and yeah, and I think everyone this week has been the same.
Right, let's have a look at how things ended up and how tomorrow night looks here at the Live Lounge. This is how the table finished up in Group B. Simon Whitlock from Steve West and Neil Duff in third position respectively. So these are how the groups break down for tomorrow evening's finale. Richard Rowlands won Group A on Wednesday afternoon. We saw Johnny Haynes and Michael Huntley make it through. So Rowlands, West and Huntley in Group 1. Whilst Neil is alongside Simon Whitlock and Johnny Haynes in Group 2, which, Nico, is, I suppose, the one that jumps off the page, doesn't it?
Just a little bit. I think if you understand the form that you had from Rowlands and Huntley over the last few days, that's not a bad group for Steve. Group 2 is an absolute banger. I am loving the look of that. Anybody could qualify through that. That's brilliant.
Just finally, you and Steve, that rivalry, you're both on 6 apiece. I suppose there'd be some kind of poetic justice if you two met in the final tomorrow night going for number 7.
Yeah, just whenever you put that group up there, I'm actually trying to work out at what point by the semi-final I'll play him. You know, he got one up me on the double-in, double-out week, so yeah, it must be my turn again. But yeah, we'll always banter back and forward. I think if I won 10 and he won 5, it wouldn't matter differences. We'll still torture each other.
Right, I'm going to add another one into the mix because one of you could become the first player to win 2 specials weeks tomorrow night.
There's a good standard in there tomorrow night, so listen, just go out there and take it one game at a time.
You're a tease, you know that. You're an absolute tease.
It's my job. It's my job.
Yeah.
Gents, thank you very much indeed. We shall see you tomorrow night. Shall see you tomorrow night as well. Plenty coming up across Pluto TV in the meantime. Coming up next, the George Noble documentary, The Final Call, charting his glittering 30-year refereeing career. That's coming up next. Then we've got the Champions Talk tomorrow afternoon. That's with Jess Smith. That's from 2:15. And then finals night is tomorrow evening from 7:30 p.m. to see who is going to be the best senior slinger in town. Then on Monday morning from 9:30, Lorraine Winstanley is part of the cast for Women's Week 5. And Gemma Hayter is looking to defend the title that she won back in June. But that's it as far as we are concerned. We'll see you tomorrow night from 7:30 to see who is going to be the best seniors player here on the South Coast. And all of us here, take care. Bye-bye for now.
What a finish! What a man!
The drum roll finishes, and the target is hit.
And that was it! We've got a brilliant second set of the week, and it comes on finals night, and it's enough